find your channel.
On that lovely note, I didn't even warn anyone. I didn't count down or anything. Oh, it says Konaru and Callie in the wrong spots. Hold on.
Oh well.
Hey, Callie.
I always forget.
No, there's two, it's A to J Plays, which is probably why you forget because it's not A to J Connections. It's just A to J Plays.
If I put a space, it doesn't come up properly.
Oh yeah, it's all one word. This is the one thing that we have that has nothing, no underscores, no. It's a completely different name. That's the best show starter
so
we
we're
ever
live
had.
Right now?
Yeah, we're totally live right now. And like, it's literally, I think I turned the mics on right when you're all like, "Why could I never find your channel?" I didn't count down or anything. That's the best part of this. But yeah,
you've really just ambushed me tonight.
Oh no!
Respect.
Okay, first of all, let's get this out of the way. AJ Connections, Ultra Podcast Z, episode 98. For those watching, we literally ambushed Callie. Like, Konaru has a different version of the story, but originally this podcast...
No. You just want to place the blame on me. Again.
Okay, first of all, Manuel, but I'll come back to it. We'll do intros in a minute. First of all, I was actually sick last night with like this bad sick. I had allergies. And my eye was like watering like crazy. My nose was running, my eyes were watering. But one of my eyes, my dumb ass is all rubbing it, and it was like swollen. Not like, not horrible, but it was very noticeable. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna do it. And like bright lights were bothering it. And I slept on it, and it was fine. Obviously, I woke up okay. But there was no planning in this podcast, and as the day went on, I'm like, who are we gonna get to be on? And it's like, it'll just be me and Konaru, it's fine. And then literally, it's like 10 minutes before we start, and Konaru's all like,
it was 7 minutes before the podcast was supposed to start.
It was 7 minutes before the podcast was supposed to start, and Konaru's all like, we should see if anyone else can get on. And I'm like, okay, admittedly, I did say this. I will admit I did say this. I'm like, I can't think of anyone I haven't asked besides Callie. But I did follow up with, I don't want to ask her because she was just on. And then Konaru was all like, no, like, go ask her. She'll be on if I am. That's exactly. It's written. I have it. She's like, go ask her, and she'll be on if I'm on. And I was like, I'm like, fuck. Oh no, it wasn't written. We were talking. Damn it. And I was like, no, you do it. I was like,
so
no,
you have no proof of this. You're placing the blame on me because you don't want to look like an ass.
Here's the thing. You didn't ask me to be on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that was the best thing. No, okay, because that actually was part of the plan. Like, she's like, no, you do it, and I'm like, okay, where's her chat? She's like, it's this one, and I found the chat, and then that part was mine. Like, I didn't ask Callie to be on. I'm like, are you ready, Callie?
Yeah, you just said, "Are you ready? Are you ready to be on the podcast?"
And my hope was that Konaru would follow along and be all like, "Yeah, Callie, are you ready? We're about to start." But no, Konaru's all like, "Leave Callie alone." That was so mean. Konaru just ditched me and abandoned me like the villain.
You are the villain.
It was really funny though, I will admit. I should have expected it.
I was like, well, the funny thing was I had literally just finished work, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I feel like a dead person, and I don't have any plans or what to do, and I feel like if I do anything with my time, I'm going to be really depressed about it. And I was just going to, like, fully, like, take a bath or something, and then, like, go to sleep at, like, 8. So, honestly, this feels like a better use of my time.
I mean, there is that. This is kind of related. I watched a horror movie last night. It's really terrible. Do not watch it. It's on Amazon Prime called All Hallows Eve 2. All Hallows Eve 1 is okay. It's a pretty good horror movie. It has this clown, Art the Clown. Pretty cool. But the sequel is like a bunch of shorts. And in one of the shorts, there's this really stupid plot about like this father and son going to give an offering to something. You don't know what it is. You don't know why they're doing it. He's just giving an offering. But the father forgets the meat. And he's all like, he tells his son, he's like, you go give him the offering. Like, you've been here every year. He'll forgive you. And the son believes the father and goes out to go do it. And then when the son's giving the offering, he locks the door. So when the son comes back to like ask for help, like, help, let's go. The father lets him get killed by whatever the fuck they're giving the offering to. My point to all this is, as I was watching that, I'm like, that's fucking like all my friends and me, whatever. That's like Konaru tonight. A perfect example. Like all of y'all is like, Manuel, you go do it, and I do it, and suddenly everyone's all like, I didn't ask him to do anything. Like I'm gonna spill some tea tonight. Half of those posts that like I make those crazy call out posts, it's Manuel being the sacrificial lamb because somebody else is too scared to do it. So I'll be the one. I'm like, it's you know, they're shitty people anyway, but I'll be the one who takes it. And more than once, I've had to like beg the original person. I'm like, you better go over there and like it and comment on it. Like, nah, man, you're getting roasted. And I'm like, yeah, you made me make that post. But yeah, anyway, so that movie,
I can see that, honestly.
Yes, that movie reminded me of me. I'm like, God damn it! And if you watch the movie, you can tell the son actually believed the dad. He didn't realize the dad had locked the doors. He's like, the door's jammed. The door's jammed. The son's all like, oh shit! I guess I'm dead. I'm like,
this is entirely off topic, but you mentioned a bad Amazon Prime movie.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you can't actually watch it on. I talked about this before on this podcast, and you can't watch it on Amazon Prime anymore. But I'm gonna post the link anyways. It's called Otaku Vampires.
Oh yes.
It's the best bad movie I've ever seen in my life. So if you want like a good bad movie, go watch Otaku Vampires. It's a great time.
It's funny because like I went to go look that movie up after Callie. I think you mentioned that actually weirdly enough on the very first podcast you were ever on.
I could see that.
And I went to go look it up, and of course it's not an. You told us already, like it was on Amazon Prime, but it's on this random site called Pentaflix. I think it's a mostly like Russian or something, like rental service. TLDR, I've been very tempted to rent it, and I just never have.
I'm sure you can find it illegally.
I mean, I'm sure too. I need to go back to like looking on the webs. But yeah, I'll talk about it. It looks terrible. There's a trailer you can watch. Like,
bad. It's so bad, terrible. But it's so good because like the cast is members of an anime club, so they like do the different anime fan tropes. It's just so good. So good.
It's funny because I just realized we haven't actually started the show really. But yes, episode 98, I'm Manuel, leader of Asian Connections. As always, is Konaru, who is doing something and totally ignoring us. She hasn't said anything for the past like 10 minutes.
Voting for Paida, I'm sure. Oh, no.
Oh, she's playing Animal Crossing. I have my Switch next to me too, but I'm not. Which, by the way, I have my extra Joy-Cons on, which are like the Splatoon-y Joy-Cons, but my other Joy-Cons, the red and blue ones, are having such terrible drift, and I'm like, fuck you, Nintendo.
Ripped like this week.
I'm so mad. These ones drift too, but like I was able to clean them with like the stupid, like there's a method that fixes some of the drifting sometimes, because sometimes you can fix it with like alcohol with the Q-tip and you go under the thingy. It's hard to explain, but it's like sometimes it's done by just dust, but other times it's like legit things are broken, because Nintendo apparently doesn't know how to make a Joy-Con.
I mean,
but it's
they've
weird.
not proven to me in any instance they know how to make hardware properly. So,
but they used to be known for having like tough as fuck hardware, like things that would survive. Like literally, remember the Game Boy? Like I've seen that Game Boy in on display, the one that like survived like a missile or something, like in Iraq, and it still worked. It still played Tetris.
A Game Boy, well, it was a Game Boy Pocket and Tetris.
But anyway, I don't know. Konaru, you didn't even say anything. You just showed off the game.
Yep.
Use your words. You're not 5 years old.
Well, okay. Well, so yesterday on my stream, someone gave me a Star Wand because I don't have a Star Wand because I haven't focused much on doing the meteor shower thing. So, yeah, I've been registering my outfits and everything.
Oh.
That's all I'm doing.
It's funny you mentioned Callie. Well, and then Callie, we bamboozled Callie. I kept calling you Callie, but Callie.
You said Callie correctly every time. I don't know what you're correcting yourself. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like Kaylee and Callie and Kelly are also easy to mix up.
I had a gym class. Where it was me, Callie, Kelly, Allie.
Oh, that's obnoxious. That's just ridiculous. I'd be so confused. And imagine, like, because there are times when I just don't pronounce things properly in general. Like, not even saying Callie. Like, I might just say, like, I kind of cut off the cut part of Callie and just say Allie. And it's like, oh, there is an Allie here, though.
Fine, I forgive you because I call you Emmanuel almost every single time. So.
Oh, you called me. She called me that earlier before we started. By the way, it was pretty funny because of all people, like I actually didn't notice, and then Konaru pointed it out, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
For the record, I prefer Manuel, and like people like Molly's actually the most like prolific person. Prolific? That's the wrong word to use there. She's the most obnoxious person that does it. She uses Manuel all the time, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
For on this podcast, but in my brain, Manuel is a noun. Emmanuel is a name.
Manuel.
It also doesn't help that your username is not your name.
Oh, Alavic. It's funny because I've actually I mentioned this in the past, kinda in many podcasts. My family, and I think some people have experienced this because some people have met members of my family. My family all call me Anthony, which is my middle name, and so do most people I went to school with at various points because I used to go by Anthony in school. And so there's a whole like set of people who call me Anthony. But there's also a whole set of nerdy people who I've done various like ran D&D campaigns with and things like that, like way back in the day. Some a bit more recently, who do call me Alavic or even Al. It's kind of like, you know. So yeah. So so for the record, I probably would answer Alavic if somebody were to call me that. But that's neither here nor there. Is everyone fucking playing Animal Crossing but me, or is this?
Yes. This is the Animal Crossing stream.
Let's just make an Animal Crossing stream.
Oh my god! If you would have told me, I could have set it up like the time when we had what's her face on.
I could have set my setup up right now.
But your setup is weird. You like point a TV. Like
it's weird.
I know, but the Switch Lite doesn't have like a HDMI.
Yeah, like you couldn't even do it if you wanted to.
Yeah,
I have a capture card, but the problem is that the connection is like there's like a second or two lag, and so it's.
Oh no! Remember I was telling you that, Konaru? That was my issue on the podcast. Like, it was unplayable. Like, you know, there are ways to fix it, like in other programs, but for the thing we use for the podcast, it's unplayable. Like,
that's why you need to go to Streamlabs. Because my plan is when I start streaming using my capture card, because I want to do stuff with VR, so it's going to be this really crazy setup. But I just make every other source have a delay of a second on it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, which is really easy to do in Streamlabs, but apparently you don't use Streamlabs.
Well,
yeah.
I use XSplit, which has a much simpler user interface, UI.
Streamlabs is super easy.
I don't like Streamlabs. I never have.
They don't like you either.
But, and for the record, it may look like we have a very simple setup, and we do. But part of the reason it's that simple is because it's really easy to set up, and I just don't use the advanced features. I pay, and XSplit actually costs a decent amount, so I pay all this money and then I just like don't use any of the features that one would pay for.
I really have XSplit as well because you can stream your phone to your computer using it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Okay, yeah, I had to get it for that.
Rip.
Streamlabs is free. I
know, but XSplit has a lot of features it doesn't have, but I don't use them, so I guess that's a moot point to even bring up. But I'm still going to. It's also much more. It's also better integrated in terms of like all of its hosting services. But once again, I don't really take advantage of most of it. Did you know? And it's funny because we used to do this all the time back in the A to G Talks days. That if you Twitch something, well, that kind of the word I should use. If you stream something on Twitch, you can't dual stream it to something else. And we used to always dual stream Twitch and Facebook back in the day.
There are like easy services like
no, that's you can't. You literally aren't supposed to. You can get kicked off of Twitch for doing it. Oh yeah,
you're not supposed to. But...
like I don't think that really matters for other services. I don't think Facebook's terms of service cares. I don't think but YouTube and Twitch, you're not supposed to stream to anywhere else.
Yeah, actually YouTube too. You can't stream to anywhere else. So, which is the two that people use is they'll stream to YouTube and Twitch.
But you're not supposed to do to each other.
Other places, but whatever. It doesn't matter. No one checks.
I check. But we do have a podcast. Oh my god, how did we already kill like 15 minutes? Why is the stream so laggy? Okay, there it goes. It came back. I think it was just me. Ignore me. It was me. I think it was my phone because it came right back.
It's always you.
No, the fucking the Macross panel. No, it is kind of laggy. The Macross panel we did on Saturday was perfect. There was no stream issues at all. It was like the first time I think that it's ever happened.
You guys did a panel?
Yeah, well, we did like a pseudo panel on Macross, but like it was podcast format. It was 2 hours. There's no way we could have done it as a panel. Yeah, like I was even telling Leslie because we had no plans. Like we didn't rehearse it beforehand. I'm just like I'm gonna open up the one we did at Fanime last year, and we're just gonna go through it. And I think Fanime they give you about like 45-50 minutes, and then we ended up spending 2 hours on it. And mind you, of course, it was like. And I was showing it too, so it's not like we were going way off topic. Yeah.
It would be fun to do an A to J drink, talk, learn.
Drink, talk, learn.
Do you not know of this?
No, what is this?
What is that?
A drink, talk, learn is a drinking game, kind of. It is where every person, like, beforehand, creates a presentation on a topic. Any topic, and then gives it to the rest of the people. And there's only like one. It's supposed to be a drinking game, but the idea is the person presenting is drinking, and the only rule really is that it's like you have 3 minutes, and then every minute after that you have to drink. But like I always change that depending on who I'm doing the drink, talk, learn with. But it's a lot of fun. And then we've also amended it where, like, you know, there's, like, we add rules where the audience drinks, too. But it's really great. I have a presentation I do on villainous isekai. I have a presentation I do on Chuck Tingle. I have a presentation I do on how to make balloon animals.
How to make balloon animals?
Yeah, you didn't know you didn't know this about me? I'm really good at making balloon animals.
Make me a balloon animal. Oh my god.
What a balloon animal?
Let me go grab my balloon.
Oh shit, she's gonna make balloon animals.
Oh my god.
Konaru, stop putting on outfits.
This is a real skill you should be learning during quarantine.
Stop putting on outfits to come back. But yeah, for those who don't know, we're doing Quarantine Blues 6. And I don't know if we haven't mentioned this live yet because we talked about it before we started. But sometime around Quarantine Blues 2 and 3, they had announced a soft end date for the lockdown in LA. And for those who know, I'm from like the LA area. Most of us, not most of us, but some of us made a JR.
It's never gonna happen.
Oh, as May 15th. And I was like, this will be the and around when we did Quarantine Blues 5, I was like, we need to stop doing this. We can't just have like Quarantine Blues 22. So we'll just do back to real topics. We're gonna do real topics and not just do these random quarantine streams. And I'm like, we're gonna do one more when this is about to be lifted, and that'll be 6. And it'll be a nice like sextology. I'm assuming that's what you call it. But and here we are. And they're extending it till July. But then again, a lot of states are opening, so YOLO. Oh shit, Konaru, Kelly's actually doing it.
Oh my god, wait, hold on. I was looking at the chat right now.
I know, I need to
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm totally on like.
Where's all the noise? Are there supposed to be like balloon noises?
I muted my mic because they're really obnoxious.
Oh. No, I like
we need balloon ASMR. Like
yeah, balloon ASMR.
that was me trying to do. That was a weird ASMR I just did. Don't listen
to me. So I have to warm up because I haven't.
Is that a sword?
Sword, yeah.
That's actually really cool.
It's Oh my god. Have you ever been a clown?
Okay, no. Okay, so here's what happened. I've always wanted to be good at balloon animals, and then senior year of college, things were kind of winding down. Like, I only had like one class. I was unsure I was passing or whatever. And basically the school every year has like this big festival that all the clubs can participate in. And so I had founded, what am I making? I'll make a dog.
Oh, okay.
And so I was in the craft club. It didn't really matter what club I was in because I was gonna somehow shoehorn in balloon animals. I did not put enough air in this. Yeah, not even close. So I decided that in like 2 months I was just gonna get really good at balloon animals before the festival, and so I did. And I literally made hundreds and hundreds of balloon animals in those 2 months. Like every day I would make like 30 or 40. And to the point where I like all the skin was coming off my hands from tying the balloons.
Oh my god.
And I developed a nervous tic where as I was falling asleep I would hear balloons popping.
Oh my god.
I used to I used to hate balloons for like the longest time. I mentioned, and I know Konaru hates me saying this, and maybe Callie does too by now because she started a bunch too. I used to work at Party City, but when customers would come in and ask for balloons, I remember, like, I can say this now that I no longer work there. No one liked doing balloons, so like, you basically, it was a assured way to ruin someone's day. Imagine Konaru. Imagine you work like at your retail job. I don't know if I want to mention the place, but imagine you work wherever you work. Look at his tail!
Wait.
Two times the charm.
But yeah, imagine you work at your retail job, but there's also a service counter. We have to randomly like fill someone's orders and stuff like that. It was just obnoxious. I hated it. It was the worst part of that job.
That's literally Macy's.
No, but you of course you have a cashier, but I mean, like, will you make something for someone? Like, it's
that's
hard.
literally at your service at Macy's.
Oh, you do this? Oh, I hate it.
Well, not like something similar to this, but
I mean, we didn't do balloon animals, but like there'd be days where like if somebody would come in randomly, like, you know, you're trying to do your whatever the fuck you're doing at work. That just looks weird. And then somebody comes in like, yeah, I want 50 balloons, and it's like, you son of a bitch. It's like, I hate you so much. You ruined my day. You ruined everything. You ruiner. Oh, look, Konaru, you're not even looking.
oh my god.
It's a doggo. Your mic's off.
Oh, yeah, your mic's off.
The thing is, the actual like movement, the like technical skill of it, there's almost none. It's pretty easy to actually do this. The problem is that you have to remember exactly how much air every balloon animal takes. That's the hard part.
That's weird. Like,
I just like how you chunked it.
yeah, we used to always
Yeah,
have.
I'm gonna end up with a pile of balloons behind me. That's always what ends up happening when I take out my balloons.
We always used to. We used to like use balloon pumps all the time, like at Party City, like to mostly to show people colors of balloons when they're blown up. Like, here's some balloons, pump it up, and that was weird. Anyways, and every so often we'd have to open the ones that came with the animals. We had pumps that were like standalone, which were much better quality. But I always wanted to try, and you'd be surprised out of all the times that at Party City that the opportunity came up that I could have played with balloon animal balloons. I never did, nor was there ever any want to. Is this guess what Callie's making? Is this charades of balloons?
I think she's gonna make a weenie.
I fucked it up. I already fucked it up. That one's really hard to make.
What are you gonna make? A weed?
Yep.
Did you say a weed?
No. Although, funny story, I was when everything got canceled, the lockdown started and everything, I was in the process of trying to convince the Anime Expo Maid Cafe that instead of tabling at night, I would go around and make penis hats for everyone.
I love that.
Can you make a penis hat?
Maybe in a second. I want to make this first.
Getting canceled 2020. What am I doing? Konaru. Like I was gonna say about Konaru's wand thing. What's funny is I didn't know how people were changing their costumes for the longest time. I mentioned this in the past. Celeste came to my island many times in New Horizons, but I did not get a meteor shower, I think, until about a month into playing. And every so often, people will be like, I have a meteor shower on my island, and I go over it. I'm like, I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, what's happening? What do I do? And I would just leave. So I never had those star fragments. I never had the recipes anyway. But then after a while, I started getting some, like, what do the wands do? What's the point? Don't have any star fragments. Then every so often, I would see, like, Molly come to my island, and she'd be changing outfits. I'm like, how does she do that? And I'm like, oh, whatever. Then I was watching a YouTube video, and this YouTuber was like, oh, my new favorite feature of Animal Crossing New Horizons is the wands. You could change, like, the pre-made outfits. And I was so upset. I'm like, is that how everyone's been doing it for, like, all these months? So yeah, I eventually tracked it down. So Konaru, I sort of feel your pain for just finding out about the wand thing. Not finding out, but just getting a wand recently.
No. You're misunderstanding. I knew about it.
No, I said like just getting a wand. Yeah.
Oh, just getting it. Yeah, no.
Because there was also, as you might imagine, there was also a gap between when I found out to when I actually got a wand. Because it's like, oh, now I need to wait for a fucking meteor shower, you know. But yeah.
Okay, I just
got one before I found before I saw anyone had one.
I just finished my little neighborhood. I'm so happy.
Well, let's do the podcast, Konaru. You've been
What are we talking about?
Well, first of all,
conspiracy theory.
Well, yeah, but first of all, we're like guessing balloon animals with Callie.
What is she? Oh, she's making a flower.
Oh, you're making a flower? How did you know?
It's so easy. Look at it. It's a flower.
She's gonna pop it. Do you have nails?
I have nails.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't know who it was, but I think it was you who had a video showing your nails. Wait, it was you.
Did a pretty shitty job of this flower, but yeah.
It's Flowey from what's that game called? The game everyone was in love with like 4 or 5 years ago. Undertale. There you go. Undertale. It's Flowey.
It's one of the hardest. Well, it's harder. It's like a really good like going up to like intermediate level because getting the perfect amount of air to make all of these twists is like really difficult, and then making the twists even, which I obviously did not do, is also very difficult. The stem's really easy.
Callie should be a clown.
So a month into making balloon animals, I got pretty good at it. And I actually have I have a cute little apron that my friend had made me. And at my college, they had this like day where the whole campus was overrun by elementary schoolers and middle schoolers. So I was like, you know, it'd be cute. I just go out there, I start making them balloon animals. So I did. And I thought for sure like the teachers would be like, who's that strange woman? Like, stay away from her. But no, like the classes would come by and they'd all group around me and they'd be like, I wanted this, I wanted that. And I would just make it for them. And the teachers would be like, I guess. and I had a tip jar and the kids tipped me.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I never made money, but I at least made enough to pay for all the balloons.
Oh my god, you have a lot of balloons.
That's a lot.
I went through many bags of balloons.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, like, I remember seeing those bags once again. Like, I think it's the exact same bag that we sell at Party City, which are universal to a degree, because we used to have clowns, like actual clowns, who would show up every so often. They're like, oh, it's because I guess whatever clowns, there actually like is a store that clowns go to locally to buy shit, I guess. It's like, oh, such and such store is closed today. I need to go buy a bag of the balloons. And they'd be like, oh, okay, you do sell them. It's the exact same brand.
I'm sure. I looked up the best brands when I did this.
Yeah, because it's actually Party City sells store brand everything, but those balloons, like the ones for the animals, like that come in the bulk bag like that. I forget how many are in that bag. Those are like this separate brand that like we always like that comes in its own like amongst all the other random things we get shipped that are on their own, not like through the big Party City local manufacturers. But anyways, Konaru, let's talk conspiracy theories while Callie keeps making a conspiracy balloon.
Wait, what?
5G gave Konaru coronavirus.
No, it gave you coronavirus yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah, remember you said you were sick.
No, it actually. Well, I was allergies. Thank you. But
and then you said, and then I said, oh, I don't want to be on the podcast because I don't want you to give me corona through the internet.
Because that's how that works, of course.
Yes,
5G
exactly.
does,
Yeah.
No, we actually did have a nice. Oh, look, it's a heart.
That is
And
so.
I used to be able to know how to make lovebirds that would sit in the middle and kiss each other, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
Oh my god. We did.
The hardest thing was a bear. A little bear.
How would you make a
God.
bear?
Google bear balloon animal. I'm not gonna.
Google bear balloon animal.
It's really hard. I couldn't do it for you right now. Unless I looked it up and tried 10 times, but it's not worth it.
Oh my god. I'm still so surprised that Kelly's Callie with her balloon animal skill. It's so random. We had
I like to be a woman of many talents.
We'll come back to the 5G things actually to say, but I had a first birthday party for my niece not that long ago, about 4 or 5 months ago. I forget how long ago that was. Her birthday's around mine, so it was around August sometime, and I don't remember when the birthday was. It wasn't exactly on her birthday, and I remember my sister, it's her child, had hired a Snow White to come by. And I remember everyone was ragging on the Snow White because she was her costume was so cheap looking and her wig was off and everything like that.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Unfortunate.
I don't know if you remember that because people were all over the place. I remember Sylvia got really upset. It was because I had told her that because on the invite it even said what hour Snow White was going to be there. But the funny thing was about the Snow White is that she actually wasn't it's not like we hired a Snow White she's professionally a Snow White. We hired a clown who had 10 different outfits they could do, I think including all the Disney princesses kind of things, and a clown. And she was mainly there to paint faces and make balloon thingies. So yeah, Callie could do that. That's what I was getting at. Callie can be Snow White who goes to parties, and I think we gave her $200. So it wasn't. It was a pretty good gig for I think the hour she was there or the 2 hours she was there. Callie's nah, it ain't happening. Are you making a bunch of sausage? Are you making sausages?
Roommate was a party Disney princess.
Oh, really? How'd that work out for her?
She loved it.
Was it her? Did we hire her?
Definitely not.
But yeah.
I might pop it. I don't remember how to do this correctly, so I'm just doing it. I'm kind of winging it.
Fred is on my island. Should I buy his art?
Yeah, you should buy all of them.
No!
Man! I wish you could!
You can only buy one. But get the real one and then invite everyone else to buy the fakes. I bought...
real one? I figured that out.
There's a list online. Some of them are super obvious. Let me rephrase that. Some of them existed in New Leaf, as the exact same fake and reals, so you could tell them without even noticing. Are you finally with us, Konaru? Because I feel like the first half of the podcast has been me and Callie entertaining the people who come and go. Huh?
Fine. Fuck.
Okay. No, my headphones stopped working, so...
You are a headphone.
Thank you.
But yeah, this is How to Survive Quarantine Volume 6. You make balloon animals.
Make balloons, and then you play Animal Crossing, and then you stream both of them on Twitch, and then you make big bucks.
Make big bucks? I don't know about that part, but yeah.
I mean, you'd be surprised. I'm already made $3 this month.
Oh god, $3!
$3, 3 whole dollars.
Oh shit! She actually did it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah.
That is cute.
Don't put that too far. We didn't see that for the thumbnail. She just doesn't. It's don't. It pops before we're done.
They don't. They never really pop. So here's the thing: balloons don't pop from your nails. They pop from the friction between itself and the balloon, or the friction between your hands and the balloon. That's why you have talcum powder. So actually, if your hands are like not dry, that's when your balloon will pop.
Oh, that's Callie with all these.
Something new
I know
today.
with all these expert level things. I'm gonna like carry my talcum powder, go to Party City and get my balloons and start my new balloon.
There were a few times as well where I just like I had like a lunch hour and I was just carrying all this shit with like to class. So I had a lunch hour where oh my god, my classmates were so sick of me because before class I would always be making balloon animals and handing it to them. But so I had a lunch hour where I just went out on the quad and started making all kinds of things. The funnest thing is you see a group of kids, like especially dudes. You see a group of dudes, and they're all like huddled together waiting for something or whatever, talking. You quickly, because the sword is so easy to make, you just make 6 swords for them. You walk over and you just hand a sword to all of them.
And they just start fighting.
Yeah, and of course they immediately start fighting.
Exactly, like immediately.
5-year-old when you're handed a balloon sword.
Exactly, and those things, especially as a group of guys, like just hand one of them a sword, the other 5 of them will attack the person with the sword.
But I got good enough at it. I got good enough at balloon animals that I used to be able to make a flower in like 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
Which is the one that took me forever to make like a while ago. And like the sword would take me like 10 seconds. I used to even be able to make like I mean it was honestly mostly just flowers and swords, generally speaking. So
that sounds like this was like a title. Oh no, it really was. There was a there was an RPG of all things that was based on like shoujo manga. And I think it was called Flowers and Swords, and it was like based on it was sort of bootleg. It was meant to be very revolutionary Girl Lutania-y, but yeah, it was called Flowers and Swords. It's basically that in Rose of Versailles. But yeah, Flowers and Swords. That's a very good way to describe it.
Oh yeah, penis hat. That's right.
Penis hat. Konaru's favorite hat.
Fuck you.
Let's just put the game down, Konaru.
No, I'm making cute outfits.
Your island's so ridiculous. You have like you can't get to your villagers unless you come to them from like a specific side of the island.
Well, they don't want to see you either.
I went to go get. I didn't even tell you what they were crafting. Because I always go to get whatever they're crafting because almost always one of them's crafting something. And I went to go check it out, and I got stuck there. That's actually why you couldn't find me. It was because I'm like, there's one way in, and like I think there's 2 ways in, 2 ways out. But still, it's like once you're in, it's like you're like stuck there until you go back the same way you came.
Well, good. I want you to be stuck there.
Like you couldn't jump out. You couldn't even get out of there because you had to put like a waterfall, and you couldn't like just like stick your way out or ladder your way out. I'm like, how did you do this? Like you made it like impossible to leave.
No, I didn't. You're just.
Do your villagers ever leave that little section? Do they ever go to the rest of the island?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how did they get anywhere?
Sometimes I find some of them like.
How did you do that so fast? She already did it.
Oh yeah, this was really easy.
She already did it. Konaru.
I don't know about this because I came up with this design. I don't know how I feel about it.
It does what it's supposed to.
Yeah, it gets the desired effect, but
yeah.
I think if I put a bauble here, the penis would stick out more, and then the balls would be more in your face, which would be pretty good.
This is the best.
And that would be pretty easy to do. I'll try that.
I hope everyone, or there's like a couple people in the chat. I hope everyone in the A to J in the Discord chat, in the Twitch chat is enjoying.
My neighbors are being really loud.
Yeah, well, you're being really loud.
No, they are actually being really loud. I am quite concerned.
Are they
They're
fighting?
Very loud. I don't know. I'll be real with you. I think so.
No.
We sent emails about it, and yeah.
I have neighbors who are definitely dead ass throwing parties like throughout the entire quarantine. They actually stopped the past month or so. Funny enough, when they probably should be. I mean, I don't want to be the one who says it, but I think actually someone got sick. But like when this was all started, they were throwing parties like every weekend for like the first month and a half, and they weren't very subtle about it. But I guess our area is probably not too like conspiracy theory. A little people are like, oh, police don't really check on certain areas. Like I think our area is not like worthy. Like it's not like the kind of area that cops would circle around to go make sure people are following orders. But there was clearly not the family who was living there. There were people who were coming, And I'm like, yeah, they're throwing parties there for like months.
In my hometown, my parents' neighbor threw, like, right after the Bay Area lockdown, like, full lockdown, my neighbors threw a 5-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
But, like, they all, like, sat 6 feet apart. I'm like, idiots.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but...
I hate even going out.
I would do that.
No, but it's funny because going back to the conspiracy theory thing, we actually did seriously cover the 5G thing a couple weeks ago, on one of our half episodes, where we actually had a serious discussion. Oh, did you actually make it more penisy? I mean, like, for those who, that penis is a lot smaller.
Yeah, this one's not going down.
The other penis was a lot more endowed. Manuel, the clown mask, Callie, the balloon animal, the Konaru, juggling between being on podcast and Animal Crossing. That's pretty much exactly it. I need to buy a oh my god. He looks like he has an extra. It looks like it has an extra. Yeah, that little protuberance looks looks a bit better now. But that penis is just not as impressive.
It's not as impressive.
Yeah. The other one was far more impressive. This one's like similar size to the balls, which is kind of weird.
The design that I based my design off of just had the balls being like rods, and I was like, that's not right. They need to be circles.
Yeah. The amount of thought.
But it does need more space for the penis to be longer. Oh, I just remembered. Here we go.
It's not. I don't know what you could have remembered along that train of thought. You literally.
I just remembered a part of my design that I forgot.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we've been mentioning the 5G thing for a while. But like, some funny things that's happened lately is that everything kind of can go. Like, I saw memes about it where it's all like 5G created the coronavirus so that we're forced to vaccinate and whatever. And it sounds like
I have only seen serious posts about it.
That's what I'm getting at. And I thought it because I have friends, and I won't name them, but I have friends who like to go into like Facebook groups for these things and troll. And I don't mean make fun of them and be like, you guys are stupid. I mean, they go in there and they share the stupidest things, and they say the stupidest things, and then people like believe them and go along with it. Exactly. And I'm like, you're literally just feeding into like. I'm like, stop. But yeah, I have friends who share this shit, and I'm like, the sad thing is that people are actually believing this stuff, and they're putting it all together in this one giant, big ass conspiracy. Yes. I had the joy of waking up late the day that Plandemic was going viral, the YouTube video. Because by the time I had woken up, there were a lot of posts about it already. And the posts went in 3 different ways. The people who are all like, fuck y'all for sharing it, stop sharing it, unfriend me now, you guys are stupid. Variations on that. Huh?
I don't even know what video you're talking about.
You don't know Plandemic? It was a YouTube video that everyone was sharing because it basically gave the theory, and supposedly this is a doctor who worked with Dr. Fauci. I can't pronounce. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing his name correctly. The head of the CDC who's like fighting the coronavirus right now. They never worked together. All this other bullshit. She's like been disbarred in certain areas, or disbarred, disdoctored. What do you call that? But
yeah, whatever. Lost her license.
Yes. In certain areas and so on. But so she's very discredited. But she did a video basically outlining that this was a man-made virus, and I it's not even like
that video.
Yes, but it was man-made. Not so. First of all, it wasn't like just made by the Chinese. Like made by she didn't use the term. It basically the whole globalist thing, where like it's this whole thing so people can control the world by like forcing vaccines upon them. Like, it's actually far more in depth. It tried to explain it as in, like, this virus came from a flu vaccine and so on, and that it's, that we could just fight against it if our immune system's strong enough, and all this other bullshit. and tons of people bought into it.
Here we go.
Oh my God! She gave the penis a head. Konaru. She gave the penis a head.
I like that it's yellow too.
Oh, Konaru, you would say that. And that's a decently impressive penis too. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I look like an absolute fucking crazy person trying to have my headphones on and this penis hat at the same time.
Yes.
But you know what? That's the mood right now.
That's the kind of content
that's the quarantine mood.
Exactly.
This is going to be the thumbnail.
Looking all conspiracy theory in the camera. Believe it or not, we've actually been on for an hour, and I feel like we haven't. This isn't even a show. I don't even know why I'm trying to talk about conspiracy theories. Let's keep making balloon animals and making jokes about.
I never intended on talking about conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, because for the record, for those who are just tuning in who didn't know, Callie did not even know what we were talking about, and even without asking her, she had shown not disinterest, but when she was on last week, that was when we had done the 5G one, and I was like, why didn't you watch our podcast? And we talked about the 5G thing, we talked about the bleach drinking cult, and you're like, oh man, good thing I didn't tune in. So it already gave me the idea that you would not be down for the conspiracy.
Besides the point that I don't watch any of the podcasts.
Oh damn, Callie, come on, you're so mean. Konaru's here.
Funny story. You know how I told you that my grandma has been watching the podcast because she tagged me on Facebook? My parents have too.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my God. Hello, Callie's parents.
No, they're not watching any more of them. They only knew it through Facebook, and Manuel is not tagging me anymore. So
I'm gonna start tagging you again.
No.
It's funny. I hope they watch the end of the year one. That was the best one. That was like the legit.
I don't know. I think they watched the candy one for sure.
Oh, the candy one was fun. That was a good one to watch. What the hell? Why are you getting upset?
I'm not getting upset. I'm trying to think.
I actually wanted part of the thing I wanted to do in quarantine is I wanted to steal that and finish the candy episode, because if you remember, we actually had enough candy to do 60 or something like that, but we limited to 30, and I'm like, next Halloween we'll do the next 30. And I'm like, we should just do it now, because I'm like, I didn't really have ideas. And literally, that podcast is already written. Like, I have the 30 candies. And it was based on my biases, but I kind of split them.
Not going to be good candies, because we did all the good candies.
No, there were a lot that, and we were even mentioning them. You're like, what about such and such? And I'm like, oh. When you see the other half, you'll be like, oh, yeah. Because there were...
No, my three favorite candies are Reese's, Kit Kats, and, well, it used to be Butterfingers, but the new recipe of Butterfingers sucks.
I don't think Butterfingers is on that list. I don't remember if it was or wasn't, but definitely.
I think I already talked about this in that episode. I'm not going to go into it again.
It's actually funny you mentioned that, because one of my favorite YouTubers, Brutal Moose, did a very similar episode to ours after Halloween. He did his late, where he ranked far more candies than we did, but he talked about the Butterfinger recipe, how they changed it, and I'm like, didn't Callie have this exact same issue?
First of all, I didn't need them to tell me that they changed it, because I ate it and I'm like, why does this taste bad? But on the package, they told you it's a new recipe.
Oh, it does.
And a lot of people like it. I don't. They lessened the sugar and they increased the peanut butter. And that's just not... I like the Butterfinger the way it was.
Konaru, have you ever had a Butterfinger?
Those have peanuts in it.
Oh.
Right?
Konaru, like all candy, I think has trace peanuts in it. You're gonna die. Go eat a Hershey bar and you'll probably get sick too. But no. Don't kill Konaru. But did you like Butterfinger because of the candy, or did you like it because of The Simpsons? I don't know if you're even old enough for that. Never mind.
Simpsons had an episode about Butterfingers.
Oh my God! I never thought I'd have to explain to someone. I can hear you, Callie.
I think when you're talking, like when I was a kid, I used to watch The Simpsons a lot as a kid. I think as a kid I would have known exactly what you're talking about. I don't remember right now, but no, Butterfinger is just one of my favorite candies because I like peanut butter candy. So that's why Reese's is my favorite candy.
But for those who don't know, Bart Simpson was like the spokesperson for Butterfinger, basically. Where he was like, nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Yeah, they like rhymed finger with finger, and it was stupid. But I mean, how they rhyme?
Their catchphrase even up to now.
I mean, but it was Bart who said it, and like Bart would always have a Butterfinger in his back pocket, and he would be like riding a skateboard, very 90s dude. But then again, I just realized that that you guys are both probably definitely too young. Because this is when I was a kid. Like when I was a very small kid, I'm like, I want Butterfinger because Bart Simpson's telling me to get it, and like that was my experience with Butterfinger. I didn't like it. It's a very sticky candy. It's not like I actually don't know.
That one in Milk Duds.
Yeah.
Really just get in there. Tear your
Milk Duds are
molars
pretty
out.
good.
But like I remember whenever I eat a Butterfinger, I'd be like picking that shit out of my. I mean, like when I was a kid, like I'd be picking that shit out of my teeth for like in the next 10-15 minutes. I'm like, oh, there's still some Butterfinger up in there.
My dentist, like, I had to get my molars filled because I had deep wells. I guarantee you it's because of all the Butterfingers I ate as a kid.
Oh my god, that's terrible, but probably true. I don't know. I never liked Butterfingers growing up. Like, it was always one of the candies, and like they were really popular. They were probably more popular. That was probably the most popular they ever were. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube and look up a Butterfinger commercial. You'll see what I'm talking about. I know that must have stopped in the mid '90s because I remember seeing Butterfinger commercials even later on, and Bart Simpson wasn't there anymore. But yeah, they were really popular. People would give them out on Halloween all the time. I got them in school sometimes. Like, oh, you did good. Here's some candy, which would never happen today, by the way, for a lot of reasons. But
but they only give out Starburst.
Huh?
They give out candy still, but people only ever give out Starburst.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the gross ass candy.
I like Starburst. I like citrus candy.
I don't like Starburst or like any like those fruity type of candies.
We just established
actual fruit.
We just established that you actually can't have any other good candies really because they almost always have trace amounts of nuts.
Yeah, that's why I just stick with chocolate.
Chocolate. I think if you look at the back of any chocolate bar, it says like made in a facility that also contains peanuts. But maybe yours isn't that bad. Your allergies.
I mean, I can like handle peanuts. I can hold a peanut. I can probably like take a very, very, very trace amount, but I can't have like a whole like spoon of peanut butter.
I'm just gonna like get like peanut oil and put it like in some water or something. Give you your drink of it. Put some tea, and then probably kill you.
You're literally plotting to kill Konaru.
And then we'll see.
This is being recorded too, so like if I actually die because of peanut butter, I can actually blame it on you, even if you're like thousands of miles away.
And that's why I stopped because it's like cancel Manuel 2020.
You know what? I'm actually gonna do that. You know what? Let's do it.
I'm planning to kill Konaru on the podcast with peanuts. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be like obsessed with peanut butter, and I remember like I used to think that if you got peanuts and you ground them up enough, that it would become peanut butter. And I remember being a kid.
That is a thing.
Well, it doesn't become it's not like the kind of peanut butter you would get. You would definitely need to add other things to it because it just becomes like peanut dust. Depending on how fresh your peanuts are, maybe you get some oil in there too.
Yeah, I think that's the thing because you can buy like peanut paste.
But like I think that's a whole different kind of peanut. Because I remember.
Maybe they use peanut oil in it or something like that, which is a different thing.
I just remember trying this many, many times and like being so disappointed, ruining tons of peanuts that I could never make my own peanut butter. And then like I remember like my I used to always like crunchy peanut butter too, as opposed. By the way, that's the argument when I was younger. Like pre-internet, mind you, that was kind of like one of the dub versus sub type arguments, like crunchy versus smooth peanut butter amongst like kids.
Yeah, we did that too.
Did you never understood it because I just didn't like peanut butter.
Well, I mean, you can't eat peanut butter, you die. But would you prefer peanut? Do you prefer crunchy or smooth?
I like smooth.
I like the crunchier the better.
I've always been really, really, really conscious of like textures, either like clothing textures or like the textures I eat. So.
Peanut butter. So like, I'm just teaching the topic to peanut butter. No, because I used to be obsessed with crunchy peanut butter, and I remember specifically, my family wouldn't buy it, or when we were younger, because I was the only one who liked it. So every so often, I would like kind of I'd mix some chopped peanuts in with my peanut butter to like make crunchy peanut butter. And I remember more than.
Does it?
Yeah, and then more than once though, I would be like extra obnoxious and do it in the jar. my excuse was that I was going to use it all, like, like scoop out the chunky parts. But every so often, of course, I would always leave whole peanut chunks in there, and I pissed off my brother, my sister, my mom, or whoever. But yeah, I don't know. I was watching one of those wavy web surfers.
You were something back then.
I mean, I was a stupid kid. Leave me alone. We were all stupid kids. I'm sure Callie ate dust or something.
Interesting accusation.
I know. Did you eat dirt?
I mean, I remember trying it, but I wouldn't just like eat it.
I remember one time when I was a kid. This isn't no, this isn't something I did. I don't know if I ever told. I think I told the story, but maybe actually I don't think I ever told this on the podcast. When I was a kid, there was this kid who got transferred to our class, and I remember, like, I almost don't want to make fun of him because he was clearly a troubled kid, but like he was a huge troublemaker. He had a reputation of being a crazy troublemaker, and I'll back up and tell you some of the weird reasoning about why he was moved to our class later. But he was known around the school of being like kicked out of classes and moved to other classes. I don't know what this was supposed to serve, but I guess the idea was that he'd find a teacher or a group of students who would like help him. However that happens, and he did not want to be in our class. Our class was sort of like, one of the I'm trying to toot my own horn. It's real. We were like one of like the smarter kids classes. And I'll get to that in a second. I'll come back around. But he did not want to be there. And he told me and my friends, he's like, I'm going to get kicked out of this class today. Like, the first day he was in there. And I'm like, and we're like, how's it going to happen? It's like, just wait till recess. And so we waited to recess. And we're outside on playing handball, whatever sport we were assigned that week. So that's the way that worked. And he's all like, I'm going to, like, do you think if I go pee on the field that I'll get kicked out of school? And we just laughed at him, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll happen. He's like, all right. And suddenly we're looking around for, like, where'd he go? He's peeing on the field. And, like, he got kicked out of school.
Fuck?
He peed on the field in front of everyone. And all we heard, the only reason we knew about it, because all the girls were like, ew! His name was Ethan. Like, I don't know why I just named him. I shouldn't have named him. But his name was Ethan, I'm 99% sure. Like, Ethan's peeing on the field! Ethan's peeing on... Not girls from our class, because, like, even though I'm saying we're like doing the handball thing.
We had a kid like that at our school who was ironically named Angel.
Oh my god. We also had an angel, named Angel, I mean to say. We also had an angel who was also a bad student, but that's like from a different... I like how the little nipple point it has too, by the way. But yeah. I remember like when I was in psychology class, there was like this... and it wasn't even a chapter we read. It was like one of the little things that starts a chapter, like one of those little like case studies that we had in our book. And it mentioned...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it mentioned how like a school that like some schools like who knows how many like in the 90s were separated by like groups. And like this was the A group, this was the B group, this was the all it doesn't matter how they were ranked. And
there are schools that do that now, but
but the idea was that it was done randomly. And it was done so early that, like, say the A group and the F group might have been exact same academically speaking, but as the school year wore on, they would grow into the roles, and like the F group would be worse at school and be sat further away and wouldn't be as evolved, and they would like turn to trouble kids. Whereas the group
anime with this exact same premise.
Well, the reason I mention this is because that's the way my classroom was structured for most of my elementary school life. And I don't know if I was part of those experiments, I didn't realize it, but like we were color coded. And I remember, I did mention in the past podcast, we were color coded, and purple.
Did you stay with the same class for all of elementary school?
Yeah. And
that's weird. I think you probably were part of this experiment.
Yeah, and like mind you, like kids would come and go, but it was like 90% of the class was the exact same class. And like we were in the purple group, and the purple group was like the ones who did the best. And I'm not even gonna lie, that's part of the reason I honestly think I love purple, like as a color to this day. I really think that's why. And like I think the bottom group was orange, and I think that's also why I don't like orange. I'm not making this up. Like psychologically speaking, I think that's why I grew up like having these weird color preferences. And the orange kids would literally sit in the back corner. They were actually like a little separated because like the teacher, we had a TA in our class, and the TA would like sit.
Wait. What do you mean that if they were in a different class?
No, they were in the same class.
Oh, no, that's different.
No,
that's what you're saying is different than the experiment.
No, that's the experiment I read about in the thing, and it did mention this about being color-coded and sat apart. And the orange...
Oh, I thought you meant your whole class was the same.
No. But mind you, our class...
My school did that too.
Are we part of the experiment? Were you part of the experiment too?
No, I definitely wasn't.
But for the record, our purples and our blues and our greens, I think were like all the good ones. That was most of the class. There were classes in our campus, or whatever you would call it, that were made up of mostly oranges and reds. And I think the red was actually above orange, funny enough. That's why I said orange was the worst.
Give me one sec.
Is the bee back? What's going on? But yeah, so like some classes would have a higher percentages of them all. And I remember we had 2 tables of purple and we only had 1 table of orange. And they would all sit in the back, like separated from the rest of the class. Like TA was like between them and us. And it's hard to explain unless I should like do a picture. But there was like 6 or 7 like circle tables, and it was like kind of like almost like an L shape. The TA was there, then the orange students, and then the teacher's desk was way in the back. But she taught from the front, but she was like her stuff was way in the back. But yeah. And yeah.
This is gonna be really dark. But I was talking with my friends about this earlier. About how I realized that this pandemic is Gen Z's 9/11.
Uh-huh.
And that's just very interesting to me.
No, not only is it Gen Z's 9/11, it's far more far-reaching than it ever was. I remember 9/11.
No. I think you are underestimating the reach of 9/11.
No, I remember 9/11. Well, okay, I was a bit older, I will admit. I was already... It was in high school when it happened for me. But, like, I was, like, in 9th grade or something. I remember... No joke, I think I mentioned this before. We had a kid in our high school. We had several, but we had one specifically that I knew. And he was that kid. And by that kid, I mean... He was the kind of kid that everyone always kind of was scared of, for lack of a better way to describe it. Not because he was a bully, but he always seemed like... What's the PC way to put this? He seemed like the kind of kid that really needed some sort of attention, like, you know, special attention to help him out, maybe. Because, like, if you talk to him as a student on the student level, I'm pretty sure the teachers didn't give a rat. They hated him. But on the student level, like, he was the kind of one that everyone would kind of be scared of and be nice to. Just on the off chance anything happened. We'll just leave it like that. You know what I mean, Callie?
Sure.
Violence on the campus. Okay, well, I'm trying to be all careful, dodging it around. I didn't want to talk about school shootings.
School shooter.
Well, I'm trying not to say that, and then you're all like, "We had a kid." Callie, oh my god.
Okay, to be fair, the kid at my school threatened to shoot up the school outwardly. He announced this.
Once again,
well, the way you were describing it sounded like, you know, he was on the spectrum or something.
No. No, he was that kind of kid. He was always like the... no joke, I think he even told us he would do it and things like that. Like, he would joke to us. And, like, this is like 2000. People didn't really... I mean, this is after Columbine, so maybe we should have known. But this is like 2000. Like, on the student level, there wasn't, like... This is like pre-internet. Nobody was really, like... who do we tell? Like, we kind of just kept it to ourselves. I don't understand
where your story is going.
Oh, so when 9/11 happened, my biggest memory of 9/11, no joke, is first of all, I was at home when it started happening, but I went to school anyway.
Like, in California, it was in the morning. It was in the early morning.
Yeah, so I went to school, and like that was when the towers. I'll never forget because I was in first period class. It was a photo class. We're on the third floor of our building, and they had turned on all the intercom systems to be the radio, like, you know, to be like the real radio.
That's horrifying.
Don't ask me why they did this at our campus. And nobody, as far as I know, was doing any work. And like, we can't turn those intercoms off.
Of course not. Of course they weren't doing work.
We can't turn those intercoms off.
How did you possibly do work?
Yeah, it was considered like a big emergency. Like, I think the teacher was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to war today," or whatever the fuck, you know.
No, I mean, of course not. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the age difference between us. I was in kindergarten.
Okay, that's like a big age. Yeah, go on.
I do remember that day very, very clearly. Far more than any other day of kindergarten or anything. I remember that it happened while, like, I was getting ready for school. I remember I woke up and I was like, why didn't my mom come get me? And I walked into my parents' room and they were, like, crying and watching the TV. and I remember like my mom was putting on my backpack to go to school, and my dad shouted from the room. He's like, "The second tower fell!" And
Oh
she
my
was like,
god.
Yeah. And so she gave me like, I obviously knew something was wrong. I think she gave me like a quick like something bad. I think she might have even just said something bad happened or something like that. And then I went to school, and they like obviously all the kids knew something was wrong. And so, like, we all tried to piece it together, and, like, eventually they sat us down, and they gave us some sort of explanation. I don't remember how extensive it was, but I do remember that we went home early. The whole school went home really early.
Oh my god. No, it's funny you have the whole second tower memory, too, because that's actually the point I was getting at, is that I remember, I don't think I was asked, I think it happened somewhere between the class starting and me going to school when the first tower fell.
No, we're talking about 9/11.
Yeah, we're talking about 9/11, you're missing this. Anyways, let me finish my story. So, when the second tower,
from starting this.
when the second tower went down, like like people, whoever was on the radio was going kind of like was like, oh my gosh, we're just getting word right now, the second tower has fallen, you know. And I'll never forget this. This is my big 9/11 memory. That kid, the school shooter kid, don't ask me why he was walking in the hallway. Huh?
Sorry, I'm laughing at
I know, Konaru's hearing all this. So I don't know why this school shooter kid was walking through the hallways by himself to begin with, but I'll never forget this. And he was right outside of our class, and he started cheering. He started cheering and was like, "Yeah, woo, yeah!" And we were all like, and mind you, we'd already known beforehand. Like we were always kind of scared of this kid beforehand. It's like the school shooter kid, and then when he did that, I remember I was like, whoa, man, like, let's stay away from him for the rest of the school year.
And that was the beginning of the school year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And, like I said, actually, that would have been 10th grade then, now that I think about it. But yeah, because I didn't know him the first year. I think he dropped out, but in his junior year, he did come the next year, but I think he dropped out somewhere in there. So, thankfully, nothing ever happened like that. But yeah, I remember, that's my big 9/11 memory, is the school shooter kid, cheering.
Shooter kid? I don't talk about.
It was just some kid that went to a school that was clearly going to be a school shooter.
Yeah. Mind you, when I started telling the story, I was trying to, like, tell it very subtly and coyly, but then...
I was doing a really bad job of it, and I couldn't tell what he was saying.
But then Callie started going on about her school shooter kid, and I'm like, oh, I guess we're just saying this now.
Well... In my defense, our school shooter kid threatened to shoot up the school. So...
I never really had, like... Okay, no,
Is there a party going on there? Why is the light changing next to you?
Oh, because my boyfriend is dancing.
I know, is that like a strobe light? It's like... It's like, yeah. Start dancing.
Well, he's
dancing, by the way.
Caramel dancing.
I wasn't dancing, it was caramel.
Oh.
I don't know if you heard him.
Okay.
Anyways, go on, Konaru. What were you saying about school shooters?
I had this one school shooter kid in my school. It was like the only school shooter kid like I've ever like kind of had in my whole schooling life, because like everyone else was like pretty normal or just did drugs. But they were like pretty low key about their drugs anyways. But anyways, like he was, the thing is like he was severely picked on too, and I kind of like felt for him because you know I was picked on too. But he would make very questionable threats, like, and 1 year after I left, apparently he brought a knife to school to try to stab someone. So,
oh my god.
I don't know how he got caught. That's the thing. I wasn't there when it happened. I just heard like, oh, this kid, the kid in our class got caught with a knife or whatever. It was making threats about stabbing one of the guys that kept teasing him. So
my school, our school shooter kid, it was kind of weird because he threatened to shoot the school. Okay, so my school did not have an official senior ditch day. It was like actually we were actually ditching school.
Yeah.
So I didn't plan on doing it. A lot of the senior teachers actually specifically put tests on that day so that people couldn't skip school. None of my teachers did that because I was in the classes that were so high level that like the teachers didn't really care. So to be quite frank, I didn't plan on skipping school, but that was the day he threatened. That was the day he had stated that he was going to shoot up the school, which seems kind of strange if you're actually planning to shoot up the school on the day that none of your peers are going to be there.
Was he like a senior or something?
Yeah, he was a senior with us, so it was kind of strange.
Maybe it wasn't anyone like in the senior class that was,
I know.
he was targeting.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That was I don't know.
And he has less people to like, get in his way and like everything.
True. True. Like maybe if he's the only one in the class, or maybe he was a teacher and he didn't like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never got specific. So, anyways, because of that, I didn't go to school because I didn't feel safe. And I remember my parents were like, well, if you're not going to go to school, you need to call the school and tell them you're going to be there. So I called the school and I was like, yeah, this is Callie's mom. Yeah, she's sick today. Okay, bye.
Oh my god.
And the funny thing is, I live across the street from the high school. And the whole day, I had my garage open, and I was just working on cosplay props in the garage. And, like, the high schoolers were, like, running past, and the teachers... It was like, I was like, I was honestly such a good kid that it wouldn't have been a problem anyways, but, like, anyways. It was weird.
I used to forge my parents' notes, but that was more. I mean, I would stay home. My parents would know I was staying home, but like they would either forget to write me a note, or I just didn't care, and I would just forge it myself. But I don't think my parents have written me ever wrote me a sick note at all during my high school life, maybe junior high as well.
Honestly, like, wished that I did more like crazy stuff. They always were trying to like push me to like drink.
Oh my god! What was that? They always pushed me to drink. Oh my god!
Specifically to drink. I don't know why, but I mean, it's not like they were like abusive or anything. They just thought I wasn't having enough fun or whatever. I don't know what their reasoning was. So like whenever stuff like that came up, they never had a problem with it because 99.9% of the time I was fine. So they're like, oh, she's gonna skip one day of school, whatever.
The very first time I ever got drunk, I was like 13 or 14, something like that. Oh man,
I still don't like alcohol.
Oh, I don't know if anyone likes alcohol, but it's but I don't know. There's some alcohol I like, I guess. But it's a really short story because there's actually not much to tell. Like I remember the first time I got drunk, it was with my brother who was only like 16 at the time, and my parents were there. They were at the we were drinking at our house. My parents were there. They didn't like my brother drinking, but they didn't care that it's like, oh, at least I'm there drinking with him, and I'd calm him down somehow because he wouldn't do anything stupid. And I remember getting so drunk, I just went to my room, and I was just like, I'd never been drunk before. I was just like, oh, and I felt like crap, and I felt drunk. And I remember my mom came to check on me, like, are you okay? Do you feel okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Shut up. And I remember just grabbing stuff and throwing it at the door until she closed it. I'll never forget that. I'm like, am I an angry drunk? I remember thinking that afterwards. And I don't think I really am, for the record, but yeah. I just remember that was my first drunk experience. I was like getting so upset at my mom. I'm not like coming to check on me. It might have been my dad, to be honest. I don't remember. The memory's really blurry now, but that was my first drunk experience. Oof. Oh, that was terrible.
I've only been. I don't think I've ever been drunk.
It's so.
No, yeah, I've never been drunk. I've only had like little sips here and there.
It's fun. I know. Well, you can't really drink anyway.
Yeah, I can't really drink anyways because I'm on medication. I can't mix it.
I just remember when you came to one of our parties at AX, you and your boyfriend came to one of our parties, and I think that was after he brought the alcohol, so the alcohol was already there. But well, no, maybe it was when he brought it. It doesn't matter. But he had already shown up a little toasty, and then like we all got.
He gets toasty at cons.
And then we drank some more, and I just remember we were all drinking, and then I think all of us were drunk except for you. Like everyone in the room was, and you hadn't had a drop. And I just remember you like walking around, and
I'll be there next time, and we'll just be sober together.
Yeah, I just remember you walking around, like kind of like it was clear that you were probably like a little awkward. It's like everyone's drunk, I think
the problem is, here's the real problem. This is a part of the reason I don't drink. And part of the reason I don't drink is because I immediately get very, very tired. So, and I want to fall asleep. So that's one. So it's like, what's the point anyways? Two, honestly, I've cooled down a lot now that I've like moved out here and like I just don't talk to people for days on end. Not because of the pandemic, just because I live on my own.
You're antisocial.
Antisocial. Well, yeah, I don't know. But for the last 2 years, so not a pandemic thing. But it definitely used to be the case that my whole life, like, I was just vibing at a frequency that was way closer to a drunk person than it ever was to a sober person. So, like, me normal was like people drunk. So I vibed more with drunk people. Not so much anymore, though.
I remember the very first time I met you when we hung out. We had KBQ and then we got ice cream afterwards, and we were, I don't think it was before or after we got ice cream. But we were walking from this Home Depot close by, and we were walking across the parking lot, and you were putting something in your car, and I'm like, I thought you were just gonna break into that car through the back. I'll never forget. You just started crawling into your car from the back seat, and I was just like, oh man, that's like some drunk shit right there. I remember thinking that. That's the kind of shit.
I don't remember exactly that moment, but as you were telling the story, I was like, what would I do if I was trying to convince him that I was like breaking into a car? And my first thought was strangely crawl into it.
Yeah, you started crawling into the back, and I was like, what the hell is she doing? and like, I would have taken a picture of you if like the process happened or done something, but that was the day I had dropped my phone in the toilet. I remember specifically thinking, I'm like, I don't even have a phone. It's like, she straight out like breaking into a car, crawling in the back. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, that's some drunk that's some drunk shenanigans right there, Callie. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's just
the day I told you about my poop Twitter.
Wait, what? It was! I forgot about that!
Which you didn't follow. I'm very
I know! I'm not gonna lie. I'll be straight up with you. I completely forgot about it until this second. And it took me a minute to come back to it. You're right. What happened to that? Do you still have it?
It's still there.
Oh my god. I forgot all about that. What's the Twitter?
Don't worry, I will not tell you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna try to find it. That's
At the very least, I won't tell you on air.
I was gonna say, link in the description below. Oh my god. Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned on the podcast, I dropped my phone in the toilet, and I'll never forget this. That poor phone went through so much bullshit. We were in a theater. This actually dates exactly when it happened. We were in a theater watching Godzilla. The newer one, not the old 2014 one, but like the newer sequel one. And we're watching that King of the Monsters, I think it was called. We're watching Godzilla, and I was there with Tipu, and he had to go to the bathroom, and like I went into the bathroom with him because I wanted to fix my pants, because like I had this pair of pants where like I don't know if they were like one leg was like tapered. It felt like I had a factory defect, because the right leg would like bunch and twist or something like that every so often, and I'm like, why is it doing this? So like I don't have those pants anymore because I was so mad about when it ended up happening. So I'm like, I need to go in the bathroom and fix them, like literally just straighten the pant leg. So I went inside, and I'm like, you know what? The theater was empty, the bathroom was empty. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go into a stall, so it doesn't look awkward me putting my hands down my pants to like get my pant leg straight. So I go in the stall, put my hands down my pants to straighten the pant leg, and my phone's in my jacket pocket, and it falls in the toilet. And I was fucking pissed. Because I wasn't even using the bathroom, did not have to use it, did not need to be in there, did not even have to. I could have waited till I got to the theater, sat down, and just fixed it over my leg. I didn't have to really go into my pants like that. I'm like, why did I do any of that? And then another day I went to go, like, eventually the phone did dry out and it started working. Then a couple months after that, right when the screen had completely dried, I took it to my sister's house, went to her bathroom to fix my hair because it was a hot day. It was like during the summer. My hair was a mess by the time I got there. And she had just put in this hard tile on the floor, and my phone fell out of my pocket while I was washing my hands, and it shattered. Yeah, that phone was such a disaster. Kept it for a while. Then I got a new phone. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, because of my phone falling in the toilet, though, Callie had this whole lovely discussion about poop and fishing out a phone out of a toilet. That because I had to reiterate that, thank God, the one plus to my story. People were
no, I didn't have a story about fishing a phone out of a toilet.
Oh, it wasn't you? Right, no. Was it Molly? I'm naming everyone who was there.
It wasn't me.
Oh, well, if it wasn't either of us, it was definitely Tipu, because if those who don't know Tipu, and I'm not calling Tipu out on this, because he'll do it. Like I could like text him right now, like, Tipu, send us a poop joke. Tipu will go on about poop. But the one plus to me dropping my phone was that it was an unused toilet. Like, that was the one bonus. And I didn't even have to hesitate to go get it. And I was telling everyone, too, like, if the toilet had been used or whatever, I probably wouldn't even have gotten it. I would have just freaked out. If I would have flushed a toilet, I probably would have legitimately flushed a toilet.
Title this podcast.
Huh?
What are you going to title this podcast?
I don't even know. Yeah, we made balloon animals. We talked about 9/11, school shooters, drunk bullshit, poop. What is this? What are we doing? But no, for the record, I would have flushed the toilet, then gotten it out when it was like empty. And if the phone went down, the phone went down. Because there's no way I would have reached my hand in there. I'm just saying that. But when it fell in, I just reached it for it immediately. I mean, would you? Would you reach for it? Like, would you? I'd be like, that toilet. That phone is gone. It's like, no.
There's almost no difference in the level of bacteria between a flushed toilet and a full toilet.
Well, it definitely is a lot more.
Assuming the phone does not touch the poop.
Well, I mean,
Fuck.
I didn't put the phone in my mouth afterwards, and I washed both because I'm like.
You're saying you would have to flush the toilet first, and I'm just saying, like, why?
So I don't have to touch the poop. Konaru, save this podcast. Are you okay? You look like a robot. Is your mic even on?
It's not. What?
There it goes.
I know you're just being really quiet.
Oh, no, I'm supposed to be talking. I guess my mic isn't.
Have you not been talking? Have you been talking this entire time about poop? Have you?
I mean, I was listening, and then, like, when you said, like, save this podcast, I was like, no.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
Why don't to?
Oh my god.
Don't forget to vote for Prida.
Don't forget to send us pictures of. Actually, I better not joke about that. Somebody really will. I shouldn't tell that story. Never mind. I'm not going to. It's not even that. Oh fuck it! I'm gonna tell it. It's not that bad. The other night I was. Actually, no, I'm not gonna tell it. Never mind. I'm not gonna tell it.
Y'all been watching any anime recently?
Oh, fun fact! No. I started watching Macross again because I wanted to watch it again because we had that podcast, and I realized I doubt anyone who watched that Macross podcast is watching this one because that one actually had a lot of viewers and a lot of people were like have been watching it on YouTube. But I'm 99%, and especially by the statistics, I'm pretty sure that a different set of people are watch that live and are watching it on YouTube. But I made a lot of little mistakes throughout that podcast, and I just wanted to give myself a refresher if I'm like talking about one anime so particularly. But I haven't watched any new anime, just Macross, and I started watching.
I'm rewatching ER again.
ER?
15th season.
Favorite anime?
Oh, Corey in the house.
You know they still air ER in Japan. It's pretty wild for me.
My mic is. Oh wait, what is this? My mic is off. You're so popular with the ladies. Who is this?
What?
I'll send you pics
I'm
online.
reading that too. I'm like, what?
Who is Plagues of Rob?
I this whole time I was like, I don't know who that is.
You're so popular with ladies. Well, anyway, moving on. I mean, you can send me pictures if you want. Just preferably not a poop.
I watched all of Brand New Animal because it's all out on Netflix in Japan.
Oh, I finally watched some of Tiger King, and that shit. I mean, I finally watched some of Tiger King. I finally finished Tiger King. I watched Tiger King a long time ago. But I finally finished Tiger King, and that thing is stupid. But that's a whole topic for another story, another podcast.
Quite stupid. It was like right at the start of the pandemic. People needed stupid things. Brand New Animal is good, but I want to bring up the general point that you don't need to have watched Brand New Animal on. Trigger is really not good at ending their shows.
Oh yeah, are they notorious for that?
Brand New Animal's ending was fine, but it just made me think about how Trigger's really, really shit at ending their shows.
I know little about them, like, directly, but I've heard that you're not the first person I've heard make that exact complaint.
I mean, you've seen Kill la Kill, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, Kill
Little
la
Witch
Kill.
Academia was also fine. Little Witch Academia, little bit. I don't know. There was. I think my complaint about Brand New Animal is that there was some stuff in it that would have been much better if this was a 24-episode anime and not a 12-episode anime. So,
Who is this? It's me, Howdy again. Oh wait, wait, are you Steve? Wait, what? Just like I'm actually confused who this is. Are you Steve, or are you my old pal from Texas who I have? I'm actually not making this story up. This sounds like I'm making it up. Are you my old pal from Texas I haven't seen since like 9th grade? But let's continue and see if he answers that.
Yeah, I am cool.
He is cool.
This Callie girl is cool.
I'm like very low energy tonight.
She's
I'm
not.
usually more hyper.
It's the fucking Animal Crossing ticket. I'm not gonna lie, I actually was low. Well, then again, like when we had fuck, I forgot his name. We had this friend of ours on who's like one of my Idol friends. He was on the Idol podcast. Remember, this is an Idol podcast. He was on like several months. Remember, what was his name? Tall guy, Dave. I want to say one of the many Daves we know. Anyway, when he was on, he even comments on it, like, oh damn, like. Man, he's so high energy here, like, you know, as opposed to like outside of this. And for those who haven't seen me, I'm usually not this like manic, and I mean I am talkative, but I'm not like this, like, you know, hyper. I usually don't like this. This is like a persona I turn on. It's actually kind of tiring because when I'm done, there's sometimes I'm just like, I need a drink. Need a drink. But Konaru's the opposite. Like, I guess you can't like turn it on for this. You're just gonna die over there.
Yeah, I'm like looking
Is
at
that an MCR shirt?
Yes, it is an MCR shirt.
I just noticed it right now. She's been wearing it the whole time as an MCR shirt.
They said that they're Hina's friend, the Korean guy.
Oh, Hina's.
Oh!
I remember you from the podcast.
I remember
now.
you too now. I totally remember you now too. For those wondering, there was a guy who came on like a very random podcast, and he's a friend of mine also, but he's like, I don't want to talk smack about it, but he's one of those friends that you just have on Facebook. He's one of those friends you have on Facebook for like ever. And he came on and he was just like talking to me. Huh?
Anyways.
No, exactly. No, he's done it before. He's like turned on the podcast. He's like, "Oh, hey, Manuel, I haven't seen you in 10 years," or it's been way more than 10 years. But yeah, and I'm like, it's like this is awkward. I'm literally a different person than when he. You know, I'm not the drunk person throwing like things at my mom, which is like ask if I'm okay. But
What?
you don't even remember that story. The Korean guy. I like that he said the Korean guy. For those that makes no sense outside of the context that at some point we were talking about how Tiffany does K-pop dance
it makes
covers.
perfect sense. He's a guy who's Korean. I don't understand.
But how would we know that? Like, we have no evidence he's Korean. Like, what an odd thing to put the Korean guy. Like, I would not associate him as the Korean guy because I never met him.
I mean, if you, but assuming that you have met him, I'm assuming.
I haven't met him. He's been on the podcast before. He did mention he was Korean though, because he mentioned that he's like, I'm Korean. Like, show me your dance moves show me dance moves, Callie. You know some K-pop dance moves.
No, I'm absolutely not doing that. I'm the worst singer and the worst dancer in the world.
I don't know about that. I mean, I never heard either. I've never seen or heard either, but haven't you done a K-pop dance? Am I making this up? Haven't you done like a K-pop dance?
I told you the reason you think that is because last week I was telling you how I've been taking K-pop dance lessons from K-pop Up SF, which Tiffany is a part of.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm mishearing.
I'm not good at it at all. In the least.
But yeah, Mr. Hina's Korean friend guy, Kelly's also a K-pop fan who does K-pop dances. Not good apparently,
No,
but
I don't do K-pop dances.
She's learning
I don't do
She's
K-pop
learning them. Let's cheer her on and like until she becomes the next. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
I have no control over my body at all. My limbs.
just doing this.
Oh, fully. Well, I have that thing. Can't remember what the condition is called. I mean, it's not bad enough that it's diagnosable, but it's clearly noticeable to me. Where my left side of my body, almost no coordination in it whatsoever. And the easiest way to show you that is if I try to do jazz hands, okay?
Oh.
You okay?
So I can't dance, is my point.
Can you like play an instrument?
I played violin for 10 years.
How is that not a detriment there?
Because it just for violin, I know you just like hold it.
But
and
you would need two
move
hands.
like your actual arm.
So actually, all of the work is in your left hand.
But yeah, so say
Yeah.
you would need both hands to do separate things.
So it did actually, like, I hit a point where I couldn't get any better.
By the way, this is the way you play a violin, apparently. I don't know what
Let me get
I don't
the
know.
violin for you.
I don't know what this was. This is the way you play. You shred a violin. I mean, to be fair, you can strum a violin, and there are songs that do include it. But you pluck it. You don't like strum it.
Violins are also very sensitive to. It's just not recommended you string them for like.
Yeah,
stringing it.
but I have.
It's called plucking. You can pluck them.
But I have been to like certain mariachi performances. For those who know, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what mariachi is, but like it's like, you know, traditional Spanish like things. They often do have a violin, and I have seen them strum a violin, like strum it, like it's with chords. And I don't know how normal that is, but yeah.
It's normal, but like I know my dad, when he was teaching my sister how to play violin, he was like, "Don't string the." I'm pretty sure he told them, or he told her not to string them because, you know, she's a kid or whatever, and like you know how kids are. But yeah, no, he says like violins are pretty sensitive. You shouldn't be doing that.
I've always hated that there is what they never show in movies and stuff is that you have this third-party piece of equipment here called a shoulder rest that you clip onto your violin to make it so that you can actually hold it with your chin. And it's just so elegant.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, because that's always one of the issues I've had with a friend of mine plays the violin, somebody I do a lot of music with, and she actually complains about that for the exact same reason, how it's so like takes away a lot of the not visual appeal, that's the wrong word, the elegance of the instrument.
If you're playing like a violin that has a history to it, instead they just put like a cloth here and they just clamp their chin down really hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which seems strange to me, but whatever. But anyways, I'm not gonna play.
Oh, damn it! I was getting all quiet. I was just waiting for you to...
The biggest reason is because my violin's horribly out of tune. I literally haven't taken it out of its case in years.
Tune it.
Huh?
Tune it.
Canon and D. Come on.
It took like 10 minutes.
Canon and D. I'm not leaving till you Canon and D. Do you even know how to play that? I'm not making it up, but I'm just saying. It's the first thing that popped in my head.
Play the Cowboy Bebop opening.
Oh my god! The Cowboy Bebop
I did practice anime openings and stuff, but they were really hard on the violin, most of them.
Oh, you could have been one of those, because there used to only be one way back in the day.
I was never very good. I couldn't have been anything. I was there. I played violin for 10 years, and I never learned how to properly vibrato.
You plateaued early on.
Yeah, pretty much. I got private tutor and everything. Can't really vibrato. I think I probably could do it now better than I could ever when I played the violin.
It was funny. I'm like, my mom called me, and I had these missed calls from her, and and I saw she messaged me. I'm like, I better read that because it might be important. So I read the message she sent me. You know what it says? Look on YouTube. "Gotta Wash My Hands" by the Beatles. I guess there's like a parody. Wanna hold your hand. Gotta wash my hands. And I'm like, that was dire enough parody to call me over to tell me about some Beatles gotta wash your hands song. I would pull that up, but I'm positive that would be an automatic copyright strike, so I'm not even gonna bother. At that time, we watched the Animal Crossing videos, and we got copyright struck so hard. Oh god. But yeah, violin. It's Canon and D. Have you ever seen My Sassy Girl?
What?
My Sassy Girl. They didn't play the Canon and D on the violin. It was on the piano, but that song always reminds me of my...
You can pluck it. It's fine.
Play Choppin'. But yeah, you can pluck it. But like I said,
my D is in tune actually, but
I will say actually that didn't sound too bad, Callie. I don't know what kind of lies you're
the
spreading.
rest of the strings aren't in tune.
Okay. Oh, it gets worse. But it's not.
Yeah. So the E string gets out of tune.
Well, it's not as bad the attitude as you were kind of like hinting at earlier.
I was surprised too, but it is very, very out of tune. Like I'd have to use the pegs and stuff instead of the fine tuners.
But you should But yeah, like I was mainly mentioning how beyond plucking, like I don't even remember where it was at, but I remember seeing some mariachis performing it, and, like they were strumming it, and it was like mind you, like
also, I have to say though, fiddling and mariachi, which are kind of similar to each other.
They're both very
yeah, completely different than classical violin playing.
Oh yeah, I'm positive.
So I couldn't do that in a million years.
Strum your violin, Callie, like go play some chords. But for the record, also, it wasn't like he was strumming at the whole like I don't know what to call it, concert, the whole performance. It was like for a song, and then he went back to doing this, and then occasionally like doing fingery things. This is the way you play a violin.
I got it out because my right hand it doesn't do anything. It's just my arm, and then my left hand has to do all the fingering. So yeah.
Rip.
That's why I never get that very good at it.
I
still have it all. I still have all the muscle memory. So I'm trying to learn the automaton, which is the same thing.
I actually have a really, really, really cheap violin somewhere. It's probably like turned to crap because are violins also like guitars where you should store them like with the strings loosened and detuned? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I actually have.
I that I should loosen the strings, but I probably should have.
Yeah, I actually have warped guitars because of that. One I got repaired, one I just threw away because it was one of my childhood guitars, and I'm like, oh shit, they're not lying. Like mind you, it didn't like turn into a U, but when you look at it, it's visible. It's like, oh shit, it curved, you know, like it wouldn't lay flat anyway.
I don't think that would ever happen to my violin. It won't like hurt the violin.
Well, mind you, my thing like that was like that for like.
We'll just wear out the strings.
No, mine was stored like that for like over 10 years. So and through different bad weather conditions and so on. So yeah.
The weather will fuck
it was pretty warped, and I was like, like I said, one, I just got the neck detached and reattached, and it was able to fix it. But then the other one, I'm like, I'm just gonna throw this one away. But yeah, always store your instruments properly, kids. I cut my hand.
I was excited to see that the Animal Crossing violin looks a lot like my violin.
Oh really? I don't have a violin. I'm actually upset by that. Thanks for reminding me. There's a friend of mine who has it. Do you have it?
I do.
Send me a violin. I have you right here. Because I was about to say, I went to a friend's house earlier on their island, and she had a violin like on her on top of
I didn't know there were different colors, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I have the one that looks like mine, so.
I have a white cello, and for the longest, I got a very.
Cello.
Yeah, I got the white cello very. Oh, it's a cello. Yeah, that thing's fucking. That thing was. I remember, like, I went to Molly's island, and she's like, "Buy the cello." It was like a lot of money. It's like 140,000 bells, and I'm like, "Whatever." It's still whatever. But I bought it.
Violin was 170.
Oh really? Wow! What the fuck? Why how's it more? But I remember I bought it, and then like the second I leave, she's like, "Throw it on the ground, like copy it." I'm like, "No."
You're so mean. She's just cataloging it.
No, I think she wanted to copy it because that was back during the duping days.
Oh, okay.
So, but then again, back in the duping days, you could have just made a crown that was worth way more, sold it, and then bought 2 cellos. You know, I mean, you couldn't buy 2 cellos; you only buy 1. But yeah, you.
It's foggy on my island.
You have what? Oh, it's foggy.
It's foggy, yeah.
It's funny because I've been oh my god, your island. I went the first time for like I think I've been to your island once when like the game first started. Then I went there the other day and then I disconnected or something happened. I still say it was your fault because
it was not my fault. It was your fault. You disconnected.
Your island was literally one in like 7 islands I went to in that hour. Maybe not that many. It definitely was that many. Maybe not that short of an amount of time. But yours was like in the middle. And my internet, like I was watching YouTube and I was doing other shit, and like not like using up my bandwidth, but nothing else stopped. Just like I don't know. Either it was
okay. So it was you on my island and my friend from Texas on my island. If it were me that disconnected, both of you guys would have left. If it was her that disconnected, she would have left. But you're the one who disconnected, so you left.
Oh, you kind of do have a point there.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, Callie, calm down. Your island's funny though. You have the hoppy thingy, and you have like musical chairs.
So I want a runway over there too.
My island space is taken up by so many weird shit. I have a very pointless graveyard. I have like an amusement parky area.
I mean, to be fair, I do have a haunted doll shrine, so.
Oh yeah, and then I have gnomes everywhere, which is kind of funny because now that I moved stuff, like I kind of like depopulated the area of trees. The gnomes aren't as hidden as they used to be, so everyone
I
just.
don't have money for a violin.
How do you don't have money?
I don't have enough money for a violin.
Are you like always broken?
Yeah, I am always broken.
It's actually kind of funny because like I made the joke in Animal Crossing that ever since I cannot drop below 35 million bells. It's like physically impossible. Like I will always hover between 35 and 40 million because like I make more money than I spend, even when I spend stupid. Doing dailies and just like,
Cannot relate.
I built up 2 characters' houses like on my money because I have another character for storage. But yeah, you can't relate. Go catch 100,000 fish.
I don't like fishing. I actually don't fish at all, pretty much.
I went to Hina's Island. That's the friend of the person who's in the chat, and Konaru remembers her on the podcast she was on. I went to Hina's Island, and I thought something cool would happen. Like maybe, I mean, you could look up what all the Nook Miles achievements are. I don't know why I just didn't do that, but I assumed it would be a Nook Miles thing to pay for someone's project. So I paid for her entire bridge, and nothing happened. And I was so upset.
That would be a cute Nook Miles thing, though.
Yeah, I was so upset though.
I don't think there's. No, there is. I was gonna say I don't think there's any Nook Mile achievements that rely on you going to.
You can also achieve Nook Miles on other people's islands, so I assume that. I mean, like you said, it seems like a very obvious thing to do, like to help. I mean, we have to fund the whole thing, but help someone out on one of the projects. Maybe it's a bell limit, like you get if you put like 1,000 bells, it's the first thing, and then so on. But yeah, I paid for their entire like 250,000 like Zen bridge or whatever, and nothing happened.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I was so upset. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Wait, okay, because someone actually paid for my stairs yesterday during my stream.
Well, stairs are like 90,000 or something like that, but yeah.
No, but I want to see if I didn't get that good.
No, and it was actually really funny because when I went back to my island, I'm like, I better be invited to that ceremony because like they're gonna, the ceremony's always like, thanks to us all. I'm like, fuck you, thanks to us all. None of that bullshit. Thanks to only Manuel who paid for the whole thing.
Guys, look at my bridge that my followers helped build.
How cute!
And it goes up to my nifty little camping area. Look at it. I don't think you can see it that well, but
it's funny because I have so many hybrid flowers, and none of them I grow myself.
You get it, Boomer? You're rich.
Oh my god. None of them I got myself. Like I just go to people's. I don't steal, but I go to people's islands and I'm like, I water their plants. I'm like, can I have some of these? And like, yeah, go ahead. And I just grab like a bunch and I just keep doing that. And I never grow my own.
Boomer, you're rich.
Yeah, basically. I got like I got, and it's funny because I have people who are like hardcore trying, like, oh man, it's taking me days. I need blue roses. I'm like, oh, I got like 4 of those. Like, how'd you get 4? And I'm like, somebody gave them to me. And like, I don't think that they're cheating. They're just like they're just like time traveling like crazy, and like, I guess they're cheating, but yeah. And I'm like, I got gold roses, I got everything, and I'm like, none of it I've grown myself. All of it's been taken from other islands.
See, here's my thing. Like, to me, it feels like why am I playing if I just take the easy road for everything?
Well, I guess technically I'm not cheating. I guess I am taking the easy road, but I have always hated. I hate the way flower breeding is done in this game. It was a lot more easy to like, not to manipulate. It was a lot more easy to make sure what you wanted to happen happened in older games.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I like the over complexity of Animal Crossing.
So yeah, I was just not feeling it. It's a lot easier just to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna take all their, just gonna take everyone else's work and like I said, technically I'm part of it because I water some people's flowers.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird gray area.
Your face is gray.
It is. So just for that, I'm not gonna go to your island or fund any of your things. My point to making all those jokes though is like,
funding.
it's like I'll send you a cello and I'll send you like 100,000 bells too, I guess, or 99.9999.
People bells.
You can only send them like 99.99, 99.999, because you can only send one item. You can make that as an item. But other than that, you can't technically.
I don't need your money.
You don't need my pity. Don't need my pity donations. I'll just send you 99.999 every day until my money goes below 35 million. Finally, you're gonna send it back. Return to sender. Oh man, that'd be funny.
Living on my island now. Maybe I'll have some hybrids tomorrow.
It's funny because I send everyone junk shit, and like it's not so much I'm trying to like give you guys cool shit. It's I'm just trying to like send something along with like a meme or a lol or some sort of like stupid message. Like when I sent you that Beastars thing.
An entire Animal Crossing fan fiction.
Oh yeah, about Tom Nook. That's really funny. I sent you Tom Nook's poster. It's funny because I'm not gonna tell you what else I have. There's more to that. There's more to that coming. I just got lazy today.
I don't have a net. Damn it!
Oh my god! Sorry. Everyone was just playing Animal Crossing.
But yeah, your point was you sent me a train set.
Oh yeah, I sent you a train set, and it was like I was making fun of you about the video. The way you said this was about like there's trains in this one, and I put it's all about trains, and I sent it just to reference that and make fun of you a little, and then I'm like, what the fuck? You actually wanted it and like liked it and kept it.
I got a guitar and like this wheel thing. I don't know how rare this is, but hold on.
But
hold on. Let me show it to you. What the fuck is this?
Oh, I have that too. No, it is.
I want one.
Oh yeah, I got one of those.
Island.
Oh, I have an extra one. I'll send you one of those later, Callie. I actually bought one because I thought I sold mine on accident. I went to someone's island.
That would be perfect for multiplayer game kind of thing.
But it's literally like it's like life or death version of the number wheel, where it's all like you have a 1 in 10 chance of living or dying. Because I think it's a skull and then something else, and the skull's most of it. But yeah, I got that on someone. It's pretty expensive. I got it on someone's island, and I thought I had sold it because I couldn't find it in my inventory. So I bought another. And
funny story. There's a violin in my shop right now. You could just come get it.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll go get it later on. When this is done. Let's actually start wrapping it up. Did this podcast even have a point? I just realized that we're like done. Like, what is that? What did you do?
Can I save that? No, I'm making a video for Paida, and I hope she's not watching this, but I'm making a video for her, and I'm trying to figure out how to save sound files or like little voice chats from what do you call it, Instagram. I don't know about
Instagram. Because like on Facebook, you can literally just save it. Because remember when we had that thing of Heidi doing, well, "Hi, welcome to Chili's," and I just saved that and I was sending that to everyone.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Oh my god, that's so obnoxious. Whenever a podcast is done and the next, I mean, like it doesn't really happen anymore because the quarantine. But like, we used to party a lot of Tuesdays and like drink and everything like that. So when I wake up the next morning, it'd always be in my head like, what is it? Like, it's Wednesday, my dudes. I can't even.
AX.
Huh?
Dude was at AX.
He was? Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, he was in costume. And
yeah,
because people kept stopping him, so it was like he'd get 3 feet and go, ah!
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't think it was you we were talking about but when we had like Kaz on, she was like, "Oh my god, he was at AX," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. Can you do the screen, Konaru? Oh look, Gucci's in the chat with her Doritos. Those Doritos? Oh, it's pizza. I can't see anything. I called pizza Doritos.
Dorito.
Oh, it's pizza.
It looks like Doritos.
And then it's Lego, and then it's...
Yeah, it says the emote name is Doritos Chip.
Oh. You're a Dorito.
Boomer.
You're a Dorito! Okay, we joked about crunchy versus smooth earlier, but now we need the big... argument.
Can you save sound files through Facebook Messenger? Because I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I did it.
Like on desktop?
Well, then again, like, yeah, you have an Android, so you should be able to.
No, I'm not able to. It's not giving me the option. Hold on, I'm gonna try through.
Well, worst case scenario, if you have some sort of like screen capture program, just capture it again.
I don't have a screen capture program. That's why I need. That's why I haven't.
I mean,
I've been like
the whole
asking
point.
people to do a lot of stuff.
Well, for the record, that was a lost route thing. I was able to save it. I think I kept sending it to everyone. Like I wasn't just sharing it. Like I saved it. Like I just held it, and it was an option. But yeah, Cool Ranch or Nacho Cheese.
How long ago did you do that, though?
To be fair, that was well over a year ago. It was probably 2 years ago.
Oh my god, they probably don't even have that function anymore.
Why take it away? I guess that's a stupid question to ask. Because I ask that all the time, but it's
I
not.
got an iPhone 11, and it sucks.
Oh, I saw your tweet
Yeah.
that you can't see you said there's no battery indicator or some shit like that.
So, here, I have my iPhone 6 here, because I still use my iPhone 6. You can see the I stuck it. You can see the percentage of the battery. It's a setting, and it's very obvious why you would want to do that. But on the iPhone 11, it's not even an OS problem. It's specifically an iPhone 11 problem. Because of the notch here, they didn't have room to allow you to see the percentage of battery. I hate Apple so much. I hate them.
Open your island. I'm gonna get the violin while we argue Cool Ranch versus Nacho Cheese.
Okay, I'll open my island. There's nothing to argue about. Nacho cheese is better.
No, actually no. I'm right. Okay, younger Manuel would have said Cool Ranch, but older Manuel says Nacho Cheese. Konaru,
What?
Cool Ranch or Nacho Cheese Doritos?
Nacho cheese.
Oh shit! It's
There's no
unanimous.
argument.
Does anyone prefer Cool Ranch? Like I said, like younger Manuel did.
Cool Ranch is so bad they got rid of the Taco Bell Cool Ranch taco.
Oh, you're right. I actually was never.
Although, to be fair, I like the Cool Ranch one better than I did the hot one.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, I don't think that the nacho one comes in a non-hot flavor, and I'm not a fan of like spicy thingies. Are you open?
No, the nacho one does. They still sell the regular Doritos one.
Wait, are you
Actually, I
open?
don't even know if they sell the hot Doritos one. I know they sell the regular Doritos one because I got one like a week ago.
Oh shit! I went to someone else's island. Hold on. Okay, never mind.
My island's not even open yet.
Okay, good. Someone else's island was out. I've done that so many times when like I search and I end up on someone else's island. Like, oops.
When you came to my island last time, I was just opening it up for like my friend was coming for something, and then you showed up before her.
Well, every so often, like first that happened earlier today too. Like I there are times when I just get lucky. That time was luck, but there are times when I sit there and I'll keep hitting A when you're searching for islands. It's like, oh, drumsticks, oh, drumsticks, oh, drumsticks, spicy nacho, or regular.
I don't like spicy.
Oh no, it's only regular nacho. I don't like spicy either.
My island's open.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's sad. That's a sad existence. I mean, I guess it's pandemic mood.
What's pandemic mood? But yeah, I'll just sit there hitting check again whenever it says oh, drumsticks, there's no islands available or whatever. Oh, drumsticks. But yeah, I'll just sit, like, mind you, it's not like I'm sitting there with the Switch in hand. Like, I'll be watching a YouTube video or like watching a movie, and I'll just be hitting
I do
A.
that when there's a meteor shower. I just smash A. Although now that I know there's a limit on 20, I stop.
Oh yeah. Like I told you that before, because I've been in some annoying islands that people are constantly coming in. Because they never happen on mine. I think I legit had one, like legitimate,
I've never
just
had
one.
one. Celeste has never come to my island. No, she came once at the very beginning of the game.
No, I mentioned this before too. Fucking what's his name? The pirate, the duck who's stuck on the pirate duck. What the fuck's his name?
Gulliver.
Gulliver. Yeah, he's come.
He's not a duck, but whatever.
Oh, he's a seagull, obviously, but he's come twice.
Not a seagull either.
What is he?
He's a I don't know, it's not a stork, is it? He's one of the ones that come and scoop the fish out of the water.
Oh, isn't that a goal of some sort?
Pelican.
Pelican. Thank you. He's a pelican.
Same difference.
He is a pelican. What's your island code?
Island is called Archipelago.
Which stands for.
It's like archipelago, but with Chu from Luna.
Oh my god! You want to know something really funny?
What?
Oh wait, what the hell? I can't believe it. Hold on.
Do I have you as a friend on? Yeah, I do. I do.
Haven't we done? She showed up on. I think you added her. I didn't wash my hands. I'm already in the store. I didn't wash my hands.
Whatever. Pandemic's unable to be contained at this point.
Have you ever? There's that JonTron video where he's doing.
Oh yes, that iconic JonTron video.
No, where he's doing the safety video.
Following JonTron after he dug himself that racism hole.
Dude. Oh shit! I'm buying this clock too. I'm buying everything.
You go ahead.
Oh, I don't have money. No, I forgot to grab money.
The other cello was the violin was also 140. God damn it, Konaru!
Yeah.
Wait.
No.
Is that you? Because just please end the conversation. I was trying to just buy this and leave, and not have to wait for you to show up.
No, I want to go visit. You stay there too. You stay there.
Able Sisters has all kinds of weird costumes right now.
Dude, I went to
Okay, hold on.
If
and I just cleared up my.
If you're friends with Jordan, Jordan has a bunch of kimonos and he has a samurai helmet. I've never seen the samurai helmet yet. I'm sure people have to.
Samurai like 3 or 4 times.
Why don't you tell me? But he also has he also has the casual kimono and the blossom kimono or something like that. He has
Your face is a kimono.
The casual one has like 8 colors, but the blossom one I think only has 3 or 4. But yeah, I don't think I'm 99% sure Callie doesn't know Jordan, but Konaru does. I think.
I mean, I don't. I'm trying to imagine what the kimono
Well,
looks like.
you know
I think I have all of the kimonos.
It's funny because you don't know Jordan, Callie, but you definitely know of Jordan. You know why?
Why?
Because we've all told the story, or Molly has told the story to everyone who listened about the time we were at AX and somebody flooded the shower and flooded the bathtub.
Yeah.
That was Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan was the one who flooded the tub. He was the one.
Wait, Callie, you have the white bow, the white ribbon?
yeah, I have all the ribbons.
Can you send me, or can I
think
like
they're in the shop
give
right
you
now.
money?
I think
Are
they're-
they?
No, I'm going first. Don't go in there. Don't go in there.
No. It's like these are like the 2 items I've been after.
I have those too, by the way, if you really want them.
If not,
But-
I can just grab them from my inventory.
Konaru, no! Konaru, stop! Konaru, no! Konaru. Why am I following you? You're going the wrong way.
Whenever there's something in the shop that I like, I buy all the colors. So.
Oh shit! It's like you're gonna clip through the door. Cause like, it lets you clip. I should save that video in a second. I made it! Yes! I made it to the fitting room first. We literally fought over it. Callie, you missed it.
Sure I did.
The funny thing is, I don't think oh shit! I need these magical dresses. Okay, Konaru, let me buy these and let me buy all these colors, and you can come in right after me.
No.
All I need is I need to do this 8 times, Konaru. Let's work with each other.
No, you're not doing this 8 times. I don't have time.
Konaru, please.
Wait, okay, the shop okay, actually closes in less than an hour. Okay.
Oh, I don't have enough money for all 8 colors. Konaru, let me borrow 20,000
No.
bells, please.
No.
Callie, let me borrow 20,000 bells.
No, move.
Nah.
Why are you guys being mean?
You can't buy anything. Just move.
I still have enough money to buy like 4 more. I just don't have enough to buy all of the ones I need.
No.
This is just people watching us play Animal Crossing now. This is sad.
But it's funny because like you guys can't see it, but we're literally fighting over the fitting room.
Oh my god, I just realized the apron I'm wearing in the game is really similar to the apron I wore when I was making balloon animals at my college. And I only noticed because I put on a clown nose.
Move.
Konaru, stop! Konaru, stop! Stop. Yeah. This is obnoxious. Stop, Konaru. Why are you like this?
I really just want. Oh, that's so cute. I have that one. But no, I used to wear it.
I wore the dress out. I wore the dress out. Do you see?
I noticed.
I didn't mean to.
It matches your backpack.
I wore the dress out. Oh my god. Callie, let me borrow 7,000 bells. Okay, you can use it now because I need money. Let me borrow 7. Oh, look at your nose. Let me borrow 7,000 bells, please.
My clown nose.
I need the bows. I just need the bows. That's all I need.
Because you're not social distancing.
I'm right here. Callie. Let me borrow 7,000.
Are the bows in there? The bows were there yesterday. I don't know if they're still there.
I'll send you a bow later for them borrow 7,000 bells. I'm trying to not social distance with Callie. Hold on.
They're not there. No, but I am gonna get the blue magical girl dress because
Did you hit
my
me?
image color.
Do you? Oh shit! I don't think I need either. I think I have some. Yeah, I have 2 butterflies on me. I can still. Oh yeah, we still do the podcast. Okay, guys, just bear with us because I can't wrap the podcast up until I leave this island. Until I need to, but.
You can catalog. I have the white ribbon and the red ribbon, and maybe another ribbon in one of my wands. And maybe some in my Nooks thing, but I don't have them with me, obviously, or I can't check. But you can catalog what I have on me.
I just want to catalog them. That's a little because then I can just order them right now and they'll be at my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just I have 2 red ribbons. Yeah.
Oh, give me one of them then.
Yeah, yeah.
No joke, Konaru. All joking aside, let me know what ribbons you need. I have all the colors because I actually go crazy and I buy.
I need blue, white, and red. Those are literally. I already got red now, so.
I literally buy I literally buy everything.
You can catalog
so
the white.
Cute. I want to show.
You can catalog my white ribbon.
Oh my god! These
my
fucking things are only worth 500 bells. Hold on.
Everyone's after them too. Got that one.
That one's cute. I have that one, and I call it the Nick Offerman fit.
Okay, I had to sell my customization kits. That was such a loss. I had to sell all my customization kits to make the money. Are you out of the fitting room, Konaru, so I can go over there?
Shut up.
I'm just gonna wear this.
That's all the outfits I have.
Okay, look at this one. Look at this one.
Oh my god.
I like how I ran past you guys. You guys are just showing each other outfits.
Yeah,
everyone stopped watching, by the way, which I don't blame them.
Good.
They should stop watching.
If you're still on YouTube and you're still watching from here on,
I mean, no, they're spamming our chat, if anything.
Okay, here's the ribbon. I'll drop it for you to catalog it.
If anyone's still in the chat, I'm actually done. And when I leave the island, I'll start wrapping this up. I can't believe we all came to Callie's island. I better not already have these magical dresses. I don't think I do. I'm gonna be so upset.
I want that one with whatever your Akihabara.
Oh, the maid outfit?
Yeah, is that a maid outfit?
Yeah, it's a maid outfit.
Is that a
Hold on,
design?
let me see if I can. Huh?
Is that a design?
No, it's actually it's in the shop.
It's so I've never seen a maid outfit so far in I've never.
Oh, I have maid outfits too. There's a couple, I think. I'm Mexican.
I love the pink cowboy hat. I have the pink cowboy boot to go with it too.
I got it gifted from one of my villagers.
Oh.
But yeah, for those who don't know, Callie has a bunch of sinks when you walk in. There's a hand washing area, and I totally did not.
A hand washing area at my airport.
And I totally didn't wash my hands.
My Ginza outfit.
But I bet you Konaru didn't either. Konaru didn't wash her hands either. She's filthy, germ-ridden, punk.
Like I said, the pandemic can't be contained at this point. So
you have to wait for me to leave. Okay. But yeah, I bought.
Alright, I guess we should wrap up.
Because nobody gave me the money. I had to sell 45 whatever kits to make 6,000 bells to buy the 2 ones I needed. I have to buy all those back. I can't believe I actually showed up on your island with like 170, 180,000 bells, and I left.
See? That's why I'm so poor.
Well, I still have 37 million. I don't always. Do you want 1 million bells, Callie? Is that what you want?
No, I don't. Don't send me money. I don't want any money.
You don't want my pity money?
You didn't go in my basement where all the posters you sent me are.
Oh,
So, see the posters?
It's in the basement. Here, let's go to my basement. So, you sent me a Ruby poster, and she's like looking up like, oh!
yeah.
And then I put the Nook poster above it.
Oh my god.
So it looks like she's terrified of our cult leader Nook.
I love Tom Nook. Okay, I should stop. Let's wrap up the podcast.
Stop.
The podcast literally went on for an extra 15 minutes because I decided to go to Kelly's Island.
My legs are killing me.
Why is that always what you start? Oh, Yuji's still there. Why is that always what you say? Like, you need a chair or you need like a not old person body whose like legs can't. I don't know what you said. What'd you say?
Shut up.
Oh shit! Why are you so mean? Yuji, beat up Konaru for me. Thank you.
Oh, there's the posters. I see them.
Oh yeah, they're on the right side.
Do you know Yuji Callie? I don't know if you met her. She was at ALA. I don't know if you're already gone by then.
I think so.
But yeah. Okay. I don't know what to do with this podcast. I'm definitely putting it up. There's no podcast I won't put up. I think this is a challenge.
No bottom limit.
Like I put up a podcast where we literally started doing topics, got really drunk, and then we're just drunken idiots for 3 hours. And that is on our YouTube channel. It's edited for certain parts of content where we said some bullshit that we shouldn't have. But I didn't edit out none of the other stuff. I only edited out the parts that might cancel us because we were drunk and saying stupid shit. But most of it is just two people being drunk, like, to each other. Like, not forgetting there's a... Did you even watch that one, Konaru? The drunk podcast with me and Ren?
Ew. No, I'm just kidding.
You were supposed to be on that one, if you remember. That was... I don't want to say what happened. I don't know if you ended up saying what happened or not. But, like an hour before the podcast, you were supposed to be on, and then some shit went down at your house and you couldn't. Do you remember?
I don't remember. No, I don't.
Oh,
I love your room, Callie.
Yeah.
That's so
I also
cute.
like my cosplay room, my craft room.
I should, oh shit. Why do I keep getting all these... Oh, never mind. I keep getting a bunch of Amber Alerts. Something going down around here?
Dude, those have been going off, like, here in Colorado, like, almost every other day.
I've literally
It's
gotten,
quite
like,
scary.
3 since, like, the podcast has been going on, and I'm like... Because I'm not used to seeing that notification.
Must be important.
What is a year?
But yeah, I don't think this podcast was as bad as some others. Like, I think, if anything, it got more into the swing once I realized Callie was not going to talk about conspiracy theories. And Konaru and I would have, but Konaru was not talking for the first hour.
Talk about.
5G.
We can talk about how bad
5G.
people are.
Yeah.
What? There's nothing to talk about.
People are stupid. People believe
I'm
stupid
so
shit.
tired of giving stupid humans my
I will say this. This will be the one thing I say on the whole conspiracy theory thing in general. I will say this. A lot of friends have been sharing...
I will say that you're wrong.
No. I think you'll agree with this. It's actually a really interesting point. A lot of friends have been sharing this like in the past few weeks. And it's actually been really bothering me. And I wanted to talk about it. Now, I might make a post about this in the coming days. A lot of friends have been sharing... It's a shared post, one of those. And it's like, guys, basically somebody saying this, like, not my friends, but they're sharing it. Like, guys, you can't just tell them they're stupid, that they're believing stupid things. You have to give it to them softly. Otherwise, you'll get them to, like, adhere to the beliefs more. You'll push them into it. They'll think it's us against them. Everyone hates them. But there comes to be a point when I'm like, I'm sorry. I have no respect for you anymore. You're stupid. It's like, I don't know how else to come at this. It's like...
You don't engage with them. Why are you engaging with them?
Because their decision, there comes a point when their decisions no longer affect just them.
I mean, you're right. I did have a very long argument with my uncle. Well, my cousin's husband about climate change because he has a 4-year-old.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have argued.
And that's
I wouldn't have argued with him if he didn't have a little kid.
And so many people have and don't get me wrong, there are definitely people who mix and match their views, don't get me wrong. But talk to some of these people. It's rare, and we talked about this before, it's rare that anyone has just one conspiracy theory. Usually, once you have one, you have 5 or 10. You may not have them.
Thinking about my uncle?
Yeah.
I had the funniest Snapchat video in the world, and I'm so upset I didn't save it. It was so many years ago. And I went to my uncle and aunt's house for Thanksgiving. My mom came with me, and she was sitting in the chair, and the video is of her like this, looking at my uncle. And my uncle was like, now, if you notice, you never see inside the plane that hit the tower. There was no one inside that plane. Like, going on and on.
He's a
You can't be serious.
He's a truther? He's a truther?
I'm all for conspiracy and everything, but there is a certain line where I'm just like, you can't be serious when you're saying that.
No,
you really can't.
That's the thing. Like, the thing is, like, I talked about friends of mine who troll in these groups, and troll as in like support them, quote unquote, and then they laugh at they laugh at them behind their backs. Obviously, they're in the wrong too because they're just feeding the fires. They're part of the problem. But my point is, it gets to be you can't say what I mentioned about friends sharing about like basically coddling them. You can't coddle these people. Like, clearly, if they're willing to, like, you can say the most outlandish thing to them. What is that? What is that? There's a survey that came out recently where a sizable percentage, like an actual percentage of U.S. voters, think the government is run by lizard people, and like it's more than 1%. And that's just like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure.
I blame Alex Joe.
No, exactly. I'm pretty sure some of that's trolling. I'm positive it is, but I'm willing to bet 1 full percent straight up believe that. Straight up are like, they're lizard people. And I'm sorry. If you fucking believe that lizard people run the government, you and I cannot be friends anymore. Wait,
not fair. Part of the reason that Trump was elected was like thought processes like these. Because if you ask those people, is Trump a lizard person? They will say no.
And the funny thing is, people who believe in the globalists, that's Alex Jones' term, by the way. I love it. It's like the global conspiracy. If anyone actually believes this stuff, it's people like Trump who would be the globalists. You know, I don't get it.
Watch InfoWars.
Huh?
Trump has acted on things that have been reported on InfoWars.
Yeah, Trump has been on InfoWars. I don't think he was physically there, but he was interviewed on InfoWars during his campaign, not as a president, but during his campaign, he was interviewed on. Alex Jones interviewed him, which is just ridiculous. I mean, like, basically, like, I think he's kind of distanced himself from it since, because now Alex Jones has been deplatformed because he like Sandy Hook. He's like, the government likes killing kids. He actually said that. Sue me if you want. He actually said that.
He did say that.
He literally said that. He's like, might as well kill some kids while you're at it because the government likes doing that. And I'm like, dude, he said Sandy Hook was all crisis actors, and he got sued for it.
No, but because of him, there's a whole group of people that do believe that Sandy Hook was
oh my god,
thing.
And like, there's so many people. What were you gonna say, Callie? I can't hear you. I think you turn your mic off.
Just talk about that they exist, and you get upset.
I'm getting upset just thinking about this because it's one thing. Like, you would think that
really dumb. You know what's really okay? This is gonna sound so crazy. I'm gonna sound like conspiracy theory. I'm not gonna get into specifics, but there are crazy shit out there that the conspiracy theorists should latch onto because it's actually real.
Yes.
And they just won't.
Because honestly, like, there's so much more we can get into about this. Because like, some of the other conspiracies are too simple. Why
don't they use that energy towards the I don't know the correct pronunciation. My friend told me it's Uyghur genocide in China.
Oh, Uyghur.
That's right, Uyghur.
Yeah.
Why aren't they using their energy for that? That's a real thing. It's happening in the real world.
The re-education camps. Not only are they re-educating them, but they're also like trying to breed them out by like getting the women to like sleep with
Yes.
and by sleep with, it's not really consensual. But yeah, anyway, they're trying to breed them out, and they're literally trying to wipe them out.
Yes, fully. Like they're literally like infertilizing the women and stuff like that.
For the record, for those who don't know, because like there's the whole like free Tibet like movement that people keep saying every so often. It's like China has actually pretty much. It's actually kind of a
China's doing China is doing all of the things the conspiracy theorists think that we do. I mean, maybe we do some of this shit, but China's actually doing it. China's come out and said we are actively trying to create a virus that will target specific races.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Fuck? I hate China now.
But
isn't that,
I mean, like, not like that. I feel bad for China now. Oh my god.
The government of China does extremely fucked up shit.
All I was saying about Tibet, real fast, before I come back to the government channel, all I was saying about Tibet is that they've actually kind of succeeded in Tibet with what they're trying to do with like some of the Uyghur lands, where like they just integrate themselves into the Tibet, into what was Tibet. Where it's like, yeah, you could spin off Tibet, but now it's mostly Chinese, or it's so well integrated. They're like, they've elected their own Dalai Lama. They're just waiting for the current one to die, and all. There's all this bullshit, but let's not really go into that. But also, I don't want to bash China too much, like you said, Chinese government, CCP, more specifically, but also
people are not to blame. It's the Chinese government that is doing absolutely insane shit, and of course they can, because they're a dictatorship, and no one's gonna check them on it because they're very powerful. Anyways.
I like how we're wrapping. I was gonna have a little closing statement on how conspiracy theories that you can't coddle them anymore, and then suddenly I got us fired up about the topic that we were supposed to talk about earlier. Just hilarious. But yeah, there comes to be a point when I just feel like you can't really coddle anyone anymore, and I hated seeing that post. And there are still people to this day, because like people who were attacking the pandemic. I actually didn't finish my thought earlier. People who shared that pandemic video, they came in 3 camps. One that said, don't post this or I'm offending you, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. And there were 2 camps. One camp was people who were posting it and they were standing by it, and I unfriended a bunch of those. But then there was another camp who was all like, who were attacking the people who were saying, I'm unfriending you or whatever. It's like, no, man, we should talk to them and convince them otherwise. But you can't convince these people. It's like, there comes to be a point when I think that it's just like, I don't know, something gets so ingrained in your head after a while. But the vast... I have no idea what you're saying.
Problem
there it goes.
Don't do anything about it. Like that won't solve it. Like they're gonna have kids. And the thing is conspiracy theories are fun and they are exciting. And if that becomes your whole world, you do truly start to believe it. So if you don't do anything to combat conspiracy theories, that's not helping the situation.
It's just like, it just blows my mind. Especially that's...
You can feel that it's not your place to argue with them, and sure, like I don't have the fucking energy. I'm not gonna argue with these people. But if a person was sitting in front of me and was willing to have a discussion with me, of course I would talk with them.
Because
I would try to.
You try to what?
I mean, the thing is like the reason that these people like believe these things is because they feel disenfranchised by different things, particularly the government one. They don't feel that their government is capable at all, so they come up with crazy things, or they feel like they've lost control of their life for some reason. And if you present, like, I mean, maybe it's like, for instance, I was talking with my uncle about climate change, and basically what it came down to is he was like, well, the politicians don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, well, I agree with you. Of course they don't know what they're doing. They're politicians. And he was like, maybe you are smart. And I was like, so it's like, you can find common ground in ideology, high-level ideology. You just have to find it on a human level and then work up from there.
But like I said, like my biggest gripe is that I can convince a flat Earth. I could probably try all year to convince a flat Earther the Earth isn't flat.
You try to convince them the Earth is flat. You have to try to convince them that some science is real, and work from there. Because it's not that they believe the Earth is flat. I mean, they do, But it comes from a distrust of science. A lot of these things come from distrust of authority, a distrust of the man.
I don't know. All this is just such first world problems that it just bothers me so much. One of these, I don't know. Like I said, we could definitely, and we have. Konaru's been on some, and we had that one a couple weeks ago. We could talk about this for hours about Callie. Here, Callie was saying she had nothing to say about conspiracy theories.
Energy to say anything about conspiracy theories. I don't want to talk about the conspiracy theory itself. It's not interesting.
You're not interesting.
That's why we talked about balloons and Animal Crossing.
I'm just joking, Callie. I always say like, Konaru says it too, but I don't know if he copies that from me. I'm always like, your face is this, you're this, and every so often it's just a compliment. But let's wrap this up.
Throw you off.
Let's wrap this up. If you have a conspiracy theory, if anyone watched the podcast through Animal Crossing and kept watching until we actually got to conspiracy theories, please let me know, because that was a really added bonus I wasn't even expecting to happen. So I'm curious if I could actually put that we talked about all that shit, and everything be like, where did you talk about it after we played Animal Crossing for 15 minutes? See, we all needed that release so we could rag on Alex Jones. But on that note, let's wrap it up. We're coming back this Saturday. We're doing a podcast I'm doing it with Warren. We're doing a panel version of our metal thingy, and tune in 6 p.m. Saturday. Next Tuesday, Konaru and I are doing a look back on the 100 episodes of. We've actually done like 115 of Ultra Podcast Z, and I don't know.
It's been 100 episodes already.
It's been more than 100. Can you believe it's like?
Technically, yeah. No, you're not right. I mean,
we started this podcast. Me, you, and Heidi. We started this podcast. Technically, it was just me and Heidi, but you joined. You caught on pretty quickly. Me, you, and Heidi started this podcast almost 3 years now. 2.5 years ago. That's insane to think about.
That means I've basically been in AJ for like 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years.
Right?
Like, I keep thinking you're new, but you've been here forever.
Jeez.
Like, yeah.
I need to get a life.
I know. Okay, sometimes I think about that. Like, when we did this podcast, it's like, you see that meme where it's all like the girlfriend's leaving her boyfriend. She's like, I'm leaving you, and he's like, why? And it's all like, because you keep streaming to only 5 people, and then the guy goes like, press F for the chat boys.
And it's like only like 1 or 2 Fs.
And it reminds me of that. I'm like, I mean, totally, like, I feel like that's my life, and I'm like, I don't know. And don't get me wrong, the podcast has definitely had ups and lows. Like, remember when we were actually really popular when we first started Konaru? Remember those days?
Yeah, I do remember.
We were actually decently popular for a while, and then we had a huge fall. Then we kind of built it up again recently. I guess it was the pandemic, but yeah. But yeah, next week we're doing a look back. I don't know who we'll have on it. I want to ask somebody like who hasn't been on in a while, but
someone who's been on here the most.
See, it has
besides us.
The funny thing is, like, the obvious answer was to ask Callie, but you've been on here the most, but you haven't been on here like the most spread across time. But we'll probably end up asking you anyway, so we'll talk. But I want to.
Maybe I'll find out that the podcast existed before I was on it.
Did you? You didn't know that.
I don't pay attention.
You never watched it.
I mean, I'm not even part of AJ.
you I don't know if you. I don't know if you know this. There's actually a secret how to be. Konaru, tell her the secret of becoming a member of Veda J.
You have to get harassed into doing it.
Oh no, well that too. But no, the big secret to becoming a member of Veda J is nobody ever becomes a member of Veda J. That never happens. Nobody is ever like.
Well, first of all, you're harassed into doing it.
Yeah, nobody's.
If you don't, then you're just like the silent member.
Yeah, no. Usually the way it happens is you just keep getting asked to do things, and then suddenly we're just referring to you as one or something. So I think Callie's getting near that. So
yeah.
You basically are. I know Callie's all like, oh god, I never asked for this. That's the point. No one ever does. That's the way everyone gets involved with AJ. We just keep giving you things, and the way to not become a member, that's actually it. There's no way to not become a member except if you stop. You literally just like stop on your own. Otherwise, yeah. That's the way we roll. But anyway.
I enjoy it.
we'll see. We'll figure it out. But that's definitely what's happening next Tuesday. I just don't know who's going to be on it. We'll talk. I'll figure that out, obviously. Then that following Tuesday, we're doing an Edaguro type panel thing as well. And then that Saturday. And that following Tuesday, we're hopefully doing the furry one, the 100th episode with Konaru and a furry. So we'll see.
Yeah, I hope you guys talk about Brand New Animal.
No, I want to actually have I actually have that one already written, believe it or not. I worked that in. But I actually have a lot of things to talk about furry-wise. And I just need to find like a decent...
Brand New Animal's so good!
I legitimately... I think I'm going to just ask somebody I don't know to be on it. Like, the way we used to. We used to actually ask somebody who wasn't a friend of ours to be on, and then we got to know them. So we'll see. I might ask a furry, like somebody who runs a furry convention. I know a few people. So
friend who's a furry, and I was watching Brand New Animal with her, and I was like, Brand New Animal is interesting because it's like it is the furry aesthetic. It's like to me, I think it's the classic furry aesthetic. Although a lot of people disagree, or at least my furry friends disagree. And she's like, I hate that he keeps turning into a human. And I was like.
Oh my god.
So how does it keep what are you talking about? She's like, no, he's a stay wolf. Anyways.
Brand New Animal. I didn't even remember that. I don't think I've heard of that. Well, I've heard of it. But I definitely haven't heard much of it until you mentioned it today. But
it's so good. Go watch it.
I'll go watch it.
VPN into Japanese Netflix.
So
or other points.
If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If we made you laugh, if we made you think of a conspiracy theory, give us a like. Probably don't like the like.
We should have talked about.
But real talk, if you're actually watching right now and you have some conspiracy theory talks, throw it in the comments and all that good stuff. And we'll see. If you're on Twitch, like, comment, subscribe to us if you really want to support us.
Comment, subscribe on Twitch. Yeah.
Well, we have like a couple subs. You can sub to us there. Give us some dollars if you're an Amazon Prime user.
Sub to me, Manuel.
Oh yeah, you can. It's funny because it's not like I've subbed to anyone else. The money is literally going nowhere. You could do it yourself. Just log in the AJ one and just do it to yourself.
I don't know the detail. I literally told you this like so many times already that I don't know the login.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not even like I don't want to. Just pure laziness. I'm not logged in my phone and I have to like log in on the computer. On my phone, I'm logged in as myself.
But you're logged in right now.
Not anywhere I could do. I'll explain it to you later. Next time I change the title, I'll just sub to you and you stop waiting. No, seriously.
They just want my sub point so I can get more emotes.
Okay. Doritos.
Doritos.
But yeah.
Oh, now I want Doritos.
Patreon.com/CDJ Connections if you want to support us that way.
Please.
Shout out to Ed and Kenneth as well, our current supporters. If you can't do any of the above,
Leslie for the bits.
Oh, you gave us bits. You gave us bits. I didn't even notice that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but you were like ignoring me.
I probably was. Here's the chat where I'm just like, I'm a bad Twitch streamer. We get bits and I'm just like, man, hit a like if it made you laugh. Just getting bits, I don't even notice. But no, real talk. Thanks for those. Thanks for everything. If you can't do any of the above, the easiest, cheapest, simplest way to support us is to keep watching. Share with your friends. I don't know if anyone will do that, but actually people have. Like, we've ended up on threads and things like that, usually for bad reasons. But if you want to do it for a good reason, that'd be nice too. On that note, thank you, Callie, for... I say this all the time about people joining last minute, but you literally joined last minute. Like, 7 minutes before we began. And we didn't even ask. We're like, are you ready yet, Callie? Oh, that's the best.
You can thank me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, Double Dorks DIY. Link is in the chat.
Oh, yeah, that's
and you can follow me on twitch.tv/Nyaru2. I'm going to actually type it up.
I watched one of your streams. I forgot to tell you. When you were watching like Love Live or shit, and I was going to talk to you, but I was kind of drunk and I just didn't feel like it.
You should have just done it anyways. I actually, I think it would have been more funny if you did.
But yeah, I went on one of your streams. I'm like, oh shit, she's live right now. Like, I think I do follow you, like on my personal, like, cause I'm logged on my personal on my phone, and I got a notification, and I was like, oh shit. So I went and I watched it. I was like, I'm drunk, and I'm like, oh Manuel, don't do it. And I watched for a while though, and then I
keep missing streams because I don't have notifications turned on for Twitch at all. Whoops.
Oops.
But I like the ones where you're just talking about a topic. So
yeah.
Why don't you watch us then, Callie? You can,
Because maybe she's interested in the stuff that I have to talk about.
Yeah, if you talked about more
Konaru talks.
idol stuff.
Oh, like we used to be.
Or
Konaru-
anime. Maybe if this A to J podcast talked about anime for once.
We actually, it's funny because we actually were a pure all the time idol podcast for like the first 40 episodes. Remember that, Konaru? The old days.
And
Although-
then, like,
well, the problem- when you guys do talk about idols, you don't give any backstory, and I don't have any prior knowledge.
Back in the day, we were actually a lot more. Remember the full 10-page outlines I would write. we would go over all the news. We'd live react to videos. It was this whole thing, and then we'd have more topics at the end. And it was just, and then we even had a little short. Remember when we do the shorts, where like here's the quick news, and then we'd react to a funny video. And yeah, we actually had a whole.
Yes.
We actually had a format. We actually, God forbid, we had a format. We had a structure.
Concept.
Isn't that insane? But it actually, to be fair, it was a lot of work on my part because I would do most of the writing of it, and it would just it literally would take like 2 days to write. Usually, like one full like good 8 hours to write, which I guess makes sense. But you know, if you're actually doing a script, like not scripted, if you're actually doing like a scheduled show. That doesn't sound out of the question, but imagine doing that every week. It got to be a thing. And I was working. Yeah, and imagine doing that while you're working. It's like a spare time thing.
Now I have that kind of time because no one's over my shoulder. Don't tell anyone.
I'm going to go tell you at work that you're not working.
I'm working. I've been working. I've been getting things done.
God. On that note, Callie, thank you for joining us. Konaru, get the fuck out.
Shut up.
On that note, let's leave and Konaru and Callie, get your penis hat ready. And where's your penis hat? There it goes.
Here.
The rather impressive yellow penis hat. And on that note, good night, peace. Thank you all for watching. Sub to everyone. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. And don't touch your face.
I'll wear pants, wash our hands, whatever. Anyways,
and everything
sorry.
else. Oh my god. I wear pants? What'd you say?
I said we're past washing our hands.
Oh yeah, like I don't wash my hands anymore. Well, just
I don't leave my house anymore.
just stay safe. Stay safe as well as you can. That's all we can really say anymore. Good night. Peace out. Good night.